What's good, people? It's the Rap Roundtable here. Your boy Jarv, Sincere the Rap Snob, Diddy the Balance, the homie Mace. We just need y'all to like, share, and subscribe when you tap into the videos. We're trying to reach 5,000 subs and eventually 10K subs. And with your help, we could definitely do that. Especially people who watch the videos and don't sub. You watching, we appreciate it. But the subs help us run it up even more. For our people who are already sub, make sure you hit that bell right next to the subscribe option. Pick all. When you pick all, it allows us to feed you what you need to get from us immediately. If you don't hit all, you'll get it when YouTube decides to give it to you. But if you hit all, you get the streams, you get the community posts, you get our regular uploads, you get everything. Hit all, help us run these numbers up, 5K, 10K, build a Rap Roundtable brand. Tap in with us. Peace.
The Rap Roundtable.
Yes, sir. The most influential podcast
talk about it
going today is back on the scene with episode 59.
Yes, sir.
60's approaching. Shit, we at 59, y'all.
Yeah, man.
Crazy, man.
AARP Roundtable.
Talk about it. Hey, I mean, in real life, though. You know what I mean? But shout out to the new subs.
Yes,
we got a lot of new subscribers. This is the first time they really getting to see the Rap Roundtable in its purest form. They got to see reactions.
Yeah.
Some might have pulled up for some lies, but when we're at this table, this is what we do. This is the show.
Yes.
Again, like we say, most influential, not because we're the most popular, but because, like, if you scour the internet long enough, you're gonna notice that you heard some shit from a blue check that we said first before it got to them. So if you tapped in, blue checks, hit the like button, send us a DM or a little email, acknowledge us.
Are we sort of the Soldier Boy of the situation? biting our style, biting our flow,
ball for
ball, flow for flow.
You know what I mean? It's getting a little ridiculous, but we're not offended. We know how the game is played, but just shoot us a like or throw us a little bag. You know, we look at some of y'all YouTube channels, we would fit right in. Yeah. Just saying, Rap Roundtable.
That's a fact.
We're the best thing going.
Show some love.
Just saying.
Sir.
It's your boy Jarv here for a good time. Not a long time. Alongside the homie Sincere the Rap Snob.
What up, what up?
Alongside the homie Dini.
The force be with you.
The Balance himself. The homie Mace.
Hey,
the
what
voice
up?
of the young people.
Yes, sir.
It's good to be here, y'all. I've been looking forward to today for a long time. I was saying it off wax. And as always,
we are tonight's entertainment.
You can find the Rap Roundtable on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. RoundtableMerch.com is coming. I know we keep telling you guys that, but we had a little technical issue with our website, and we're not trying to have y'all cop the merch on a janky website.
Facts.
So bear with us as we make sure we do what we, because you think about it, everything we try to give y'all at a high level, top-notch shit, right?
Facts. Shit.
And we don't want to give you a janky website and then our Q rating goes down. We want to make sure everything is right.
Facts.
Everything elaborate, man.
So bear with us. These hats, everything you see here, one of these hats can be yours really soon. Literally, this hat in my head can be yours really soon. So make sure that you tap in with us.
Just in time for the holidays.
Yes, sir.
Copy one,
Big
copy
facts.
mom's one, copy cousin one.
Copy a boo thing, you know what I'm saying?
Copy girl one.
Yes, sir.
The second girl.
Talk about
the
it.
backup.
Talk about
the
it.
side one.
Talk
the
about
baby
it.
mom.
The relief picture
Buy them all one.
Yeah, your work bag.
In different colors, though.
You know what I mean? The beat you hear in the background, of course, as always, done by Sincere the Rap Snob. Fire, rappers, tap
sir.
in, pull up. Make sure you get familiar with the guys. So, we've gotten all the pleasantries out the way.
Yes.
Right? Shout out to the new viewers. I know you pulling up. King's Disease 3 has dropped.
Yes.
You know, he broke the internet. People are worrying about outlets supporting Nas when in reality Nas doesn't need their support. Let's make that clear. And you know what? Y'all love to call me problematic when it comes to certain topics. Again, make sure y'all snip this shit and put it on the internet. I'm telling you, Nas fans, that he don't need the people y'all looking to support him. As long as y'all run these streams up, and according to Apple Music, pardon me, I'm thinking about the show. On Friday, he was number one on Apple Music.
Yeah.
Shot straight to number one on iTunes, yo.
That's undeniable shit. And as long as you as fans keep doing things to make sure Nas is undeniable, he'll never need an outlet to support him. But nevertheless, he broke the internet. It's a lot of tweets. It's a lot of takes. If you go on Twitter, Facebook, wherever you at, it's a lot of opinions about King's Disease 3. Sincere the Rap Snob, you knew I was coming to you first.
Of course.
What is your point of view of the aftermath of King's Disease dropping?
Just as expected, man.
Okay.
You know, this album has been so highly anticipated, even before a release date was announced. You know, there was rumblings, you know, some months ago, maybe like 6-7 months ago, about him dropping this album, him and Hit Boy dropping this album sometime this year, but it was kind of vague.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they didn't give no month, no quarter, nothing. And you know, pretty infamously, we were like, shit, it's almost December, it's November, it's close to December. Is it dropping? Is it not dropping? And then all of a sudden, the drop date just dropped on a Tuesday, the same Tuesday we were gonna drop our episode. But nevertheless, I mean, once that date dropped, we knew what it was gonna be.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean? We knew that. You know, again, don't let certain people out there convince you of a narrative that doesn't really exist. Nas is a legend. Nas has an immense fandom, and when he drops, the fans are gonna come out and support, man. And you're gonna see it all over your Instagrams. You're gonna see it all over your Twitters, and the overwhelming consensus is that not only did Nas deliver, Nas and Hit Boy, again, I want to make sure to give Hit Boy his credit too. Nas and Hit Boy, not only did they deliver once again, but they might have surpassed expectations. They might have dropped what some are saying is the best album out of the 4 albums that they've done together. Now, are those my words? Not necessarily, because I don't have a take on that just yet.
Okay.
Right. As of the recording right now, what you're seeing right now, it's still Friday. It's still the first day that it was, and I've spun it like 5 times already. It's crazy. But I do have to go back and revisit KD1 and KD2 and Magic, and then spin KD3, probably all in a row. Do them like the Batman movies or the Goodfellas or
trilogies.
The Godfathers and shit. But yeah, I mean, a lot of people are saying this is the best product that they've put out, right? And that is what it is, man. Nas is the legend, the GOAT, whatever you want to call it. Jarv?
Yo. Huh?
The GOAT, right?
So I was on the internet because y'all, I don't know why y'all trying to do that to me, bro. Yeah, see, y'all be trying to get me in trouble with the people. I'm not saying nothing.
That was an easy, clean maneuver. He tried to make you drop your flag, Jarv.
Tried to get me to drop my flag, didn't he? Tried to get me on Flatbush, asking me if I was gay, bro. Damn, man.
Sometimes I see you like looking off into space. I'm like,
no, I was listening to you, but I'm not getting into that conversation. This is a homie on Instagram looking for me right now, trying to get me to say it too. I'm like, nah, I'm not in that conversation. I'm just here to celebrate the album.
Right.
The Rap Roundtable's not going anywhere. And I told y'all a couple months ago, when it comes to who I think the GOAT is, don't ever trust me. I said Nas and Jay was the GOAT in the same year this year. Don't trust me. Talk to Sin, talk to Maze, talk to Diddy, but don't ask me. Okay? Anyway, this motherfucker Sin. I was gonna go second anyway, because I've been living on Twitter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Checking the scenes, checking the happenings, and breaking news. Live on the scene, the Rap Roundtable just got some information to our table that 21 Savage in 24 hours somehow went from being one of the hottest in the game, someone you wanted to hear from, someone you were rooting for, seeing his progressions, to someone where you gotta wonder, like, what's up with this guy? Nas is irrelevant. We on Clubhouse saying that Nas Escobar coming off a classic. In some eyes, a classic. I don't want to overdo it because some people might push back and say it's not a classic. You know how the internet goes, fellas. But nevertheless, Nas coming off a classic. We talked about the aftermath, the KD3. Well, the aftermath is still aftermathing since they're the Rap Snob. What's going on with this guy?
We had to interrupt your regularly scheduled program to come bring you a word on this, because 21 Savage is out here wilding, bro.
Okay.
Wilding the fuck out. Respectfully, I'm gonna need him to get the fuck out of here.
Oh,
I'm gonna need him to get off my lawn.
Early.
You know what I mean? Off my lawn, bro. Get out of here. There's so many things I can say about this, but I'm gonna keep it quick and brief so we can get you back into our episode. Number one, and I've said this so many times, I don't respect no newer generation rapper speaking disrespectfully about the OG legends in any way, shape, or form. You know what I mean? And no matter how you slice it, no matter how you try to explain it away and cut it, if you're saying somebody isn't relevant, that's immediate disrespect.
Facts.
That's just there's no way you can spin that. You know what I mean? So for him to just be like, yo, yeah, Nas ain't relevant, immediate disrespect. Flag on the play. Yo, go get over to the penalty box. Fuck out of here. You know what I mean? And it's crazy because like I think about it all the time. Like I don't remember any of our generation MCs and artists and rappers saying something like Run DMC ain't relevant no more. Curtis Blow ain't relevant no more. You know what I mean? I don't. Nas never said that. I've never heard DMX say that. I never heard none of our greats said that. So I don't understand what the obsession is with this newer generation talk about relevancy. You know what I mean? Second, the man said he's not relevant. He just has a loyal fan base and still makes good ass music. Nas is 30 years in. What do you want out of that man? What do you want out of that? Like, he's one of the handful of people that's still doing that. You know what I mean? That in and of itself is relevant. You just said the man is relevant. You said he's irrelevant, but he has a loyal fan base and he makes good ass music. And he's selling out tours. How is that not relevant? What? Because he doesn't have some viral TikTok video? Because he doesn't have a little dance? Because he doesn't have a sassy ass song lyric that's going viral? You know what I mean? Out of here, bro. Yeah. My third point, and I'm gonna pass it off. I'm gonna take this one step further. This feels like hate. Oh. This feels like hate to me. And the reason it feels like hate is because he sees the flowers and the love that's being thrown at Nas right now. And despite Drake and 21 doing the numbers, they're not exactly getting that love, that respect. You know what I mean? And that's being thrown at Nas, and all of a sudden, 21 wants to come out like, yeah, but Nas ain't relevant. Like, how you figure, bro? Everybody's talking about this album right now. It's all over the internet, right? And one step even further, it's not lost on me that this is an Atlanta artist, an Atlanta rapper, talking about a New York legend. That New York hate, that anti-New York energy, it's always there, bro. It's always relevant. It always shows its ugly head, bro. It's given Young Jeezy in 2006 when he said some shit about Nas.
Hip hop is dead.
And Nas outlasted him. And fuck around, Nas is gonna outlast 21 Savage too. Because let's be real. Ooh. Let's be real.
Flame on.
How relevant would 21 Savage be in this very moment if Drake was not carrying 2/3 of that album?
We gotta slow down now.
Then going
no,
over.
We're not gonna do that to 21.
I ain't slowing shit.
Overdose Sin repping the team. I love it.
I ain't slowing shit. 21, you can't do nothing for me, 21.
Just say it.
Fuck out of here.
Say it.
Get off my lawn.
Yes.
Fuck out of here.
Damn it, man.
We've been waiting on it. Y'all get an extra lawn. Y'all should appreciate that one.
Maze, let's work.
Listen, man, as the OVO capo, affiliate of 21 Savage, I'm gonna have to put him in line. At first, I was trying to fan the flames. I was trying to say much ado about nothing. Young rapper calls older rapper irrelevant. It is what it is. Story is old as time, but come on, the people have spoken. Hip hop has spoken. Like the backlash against 21 on social media, on Clubhouse, on the Twitter Spaces, you know what I mean, on IG comments, like everywhere. Even TMZ posted it like, yo, this guy is bugging. Shayru posted it like, this guy is bugging. So at the end of the day, I look at it like, 21 even is copping pleas on Twitter and Clubhouse himself, him and his manager trying to talk about what he meant. Like, what do you mean what you meant? You said this clear words.
I got some balls for that specifically. Go ahead, man.
Listen, at first I was trying to say, you know, I didn't agree, but for a lot of folks these days, like the mainstream consciousness dictates relevance. You know what I mean? What the TikToks are doing, how many tweets are you generating? You know what I mean? Things like that. But there is a hip hop relevance, and I think we've spoken about this before amongst each other. There's a certain sort of cultural relevance that Nas can never not have to the highest degree. So in that sense, I was like, you know, no way, 21 is wrong. But even in the mainstream focus, people are coming out and tearing 21 apart. Even coming off the, you know, I get it. He feeling away. He got the fresh #1 album, top first week sales of the year with Drake. Mm-hmm. But my guy was feeling himself a little bit too much. He on the internet copping please right now. So while I was trying to get my Dini on at first, have my balance in the situation, I'm Team Sin right now. Get my man off the fucking Lord. You know what I mean? Get him out of here, man.
What's his campy status?
Dini, you trying to shoot bail or what?
21, can you do something for me? Man, I wanted to. I really did want to shoot bail.
Of course.
Coming off, I hate you. coming off of a great album with Drake for Her Loss, turning Sin into a semi-fan. I thought it was the beginning of a great era. I didn't know it would last like a week though.
I'll take it back.
I mean, I think his main issue is conflating the word relevant and the word like hot. I think he means to say hot. He'd still be wrong even by that sense though. Because I mean, 4 albums in 3 years, a Grammy, critical acclaim for every album, arguable classic talk, like he'd still be wrong. But I see what he was trying to do. But this is another one of those moments where just what you say matters more, because the word you use, once you use irrelevant, it's never taken in a positive light. It's like Sin said, it's always disrespect. So I think that's where he went wrong. And like I said, man, Nas is like Sin said, Nas is 30 years in the game and people are checking for him. He's earning Grammys. He's got young producers looking to work with him. Like, I mean, like Sin called it. What more can the nigga do? Like, you dig? He's covered all ground. And what part of having a loyal fan base is not relevance?
Sure.
You know, overall bigger picture. If I can come out and drop whatever I want and people come out by the 100,000s and shit to come see me, listen to what I do, watch me work. If that's not relevance in and of itself, I don't know what is. Is Stevie Wonder not irrelevant? I mean, is he not relevant because he's not like running around doing shit today? The minute he decides to do something, the world's gonna be on tilt. 21, you did bad with this one, bro. I've been here for you. I've been trying to hold it down, but you're gonna have to hold this L, my brother.
And you know what? Like we try not to do the pile-on thing at the Rap Roundtable. Some of our best arguments be when like a couple of us try to pile on, and the two of us be like, nah, but what if it's this way and not that way? You know what I mean? That's when we really get our most heated arguments. But in this case, it's like there's no coming back from it, bro. Like it's like that song on Savage Mode 2 with Morgan Freeman talking on there. Run it. You got to run this one back, 21. You was on, like you said that. And it's like you want Chatty House again the next night. Say, oh, we not walking it back. We just want to clarify, homie, on in the microphone barking out. It wasn't even 21 or minutes. It was another dude trying to make it look as though he wasn't walking it back. No matter what you say, once you come on there and say, I never meant to, you're officially walking it back. Okay? There's no good way to call somebody irrelevant. If I wake up tomorrow and I say, yo, Sin, you know what? Nas is irrelevant. Nah, but I meant like he don't sell millions of records. All Sin heard was Nas is irrelevant, and we're arguing. Like, because I disrespected him. I led with disrespect. And I think that's what 21 in his camp not understanding. You led with disrespect. It doesn't matter what you do at this point. You got to say sorry to that man directly, if you ask me. And you know what got me even more tight when I listened to the second Chatty House joint was people, I don't know if you remember that he did it, but he's saying he didn't mean it. But my man, in the first one, you looked up the word relevant or irrelevant or whatever the case it was, or relevance. That's what you did. You Googled the definition of relevance and you read the motherfucker. So you stood on what you said. There's no way you could say you didn't mean that after you looked the word up. Nobody talked about that yesterday. He looked the shit up. I'm saying, yeah, that's real petty, because I'm petty. I'm the type of nigga that would do some shit like that. So it's like, I'm saying, like, oh, this nigga looked it up and he's standing on it, not realizing what he said. Like, boy, like, it sound like hate. And this is what I keep talking about. Like, Y'all get on us about New York bias. Y'all do it to us all the time, bro. But we don't do this type of shit. We don't. That's like 5 foreign and one of them saying some shit about 3 stacks. You know what I mean? He can't get that off.
Facts.
He can't get that off. Pause. But why y'all always trying to take one of our legends out the equation? Because y'all don't get the critical acclaim? Like, that's crazy. Oh, I didn't mean it. Kodak Black is telling 21 he's wilding. That's how you know it's crazy.
The Gremlins.
Facts.
You don't say anybody's irrelevant unless your plan is to disrespect. If you want to say hot or whatever the case may be, pop culture. Of course, you want to say he's not pop culture. Of course, Nas at his peak was not pop culture in that regard. He did shit for himself, and if you fucked with it, you did. If not, you didn't. And that's probably been one of the things that led to people fronting on Nas. But that's a different conversation. But it was never not relevant. If Nas was irrelevant, why were we talking about King's Disease? His own manager in the second Chatty House said, "Oh, he's in the algorithm. He's clickable right now. Therefore, he's relevant. No matter what y'all say. And every time y'all speak, y'all disprove 21's point further and further. Y'all don't even realize y'all taking the trouble and burying this guy. You know what I mean? And if he's not relevant, to our earlier point that we made in this episode about platforms not giving Nas, look, the man was on a Daily Show last night. Like, 21 didn't get that. Look, y'all faked the Vogue shoot. You know what I mean? Like,
talk about
come on, bro. So it's like,
shit.
you gotta watch what you say. Like, don't disrespect the legends. We don't talk bad about the Atlanta legends. Not one of them. The only bad people we talk about in the South is the niggas who made snap music and wore big t-shirts and rapped about Laffy Tappies. But if you were fire and you were from the South, we speak nice of you. We was ready to argue with something about 21 just last week, bro. Literally. What we doing here?
Facts.
Come on. It's like how Shaq usually will check a young big man when he trying to talk too much. Like, your G4 classification is not to the point where you can even do anything but praise what Nas just did. You know what I'm saying?
That's
like
certified.
21. It recalls to me a situation about 10 or 15 years ago when Jim Jones was talking crazy about Jay, and he had to say, like, you the 8th man off the bench. You can't talk about what a starter, what an all-star is doing. So it's like, read the room, my boy. Like, you're not that guy, bro.
Bro, flagrant 2 foul, out of the game. You got to go to the press. You might be suspended for the next game even. You got to go to the press conference. You got to walk all of that back. And you got to give him a free verse, or you got to go do an interview and you got to speak to that man. We need one of them stage IG lives with Nas and 21 at this point. Y'all got to make this right. Like, this is unacceptable.
Yeah, and it's always dudes that's doing numbers and it's hot. They always get mad at the artists that's getting the critical acclaim. They always hate that shit. And that's what this shit feels like.
There you go. And you try to say it's not about the youth. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. You got the youth culture, cool. But nevertheless, we could talk about this for hours because this is the level of ridiculousness. Like, I'm tight. Like 21. Go back to Aubrey, drop some videos. Help us forget about this. Get on Instagram Live tonight and say sorry to Nas to his face. That's all I got to say. Also, shout out to Hit Boy sharing the Rap Roundtable. We can do all
Appreciate
of that.
Shout out to Hit, man.
Yes, sir.
If
you don't follow Hit Boy on IG, go follow him right now. You'll see our video on his timeline.
You already know the vibe. Yo, now back to your regularly scheduled program. There was a Pete Rock sighting in the aftermath of King's Disease 3.
There was.
He puts this tweet out, and y'all mind if I read it? Because I'm sober enough to where I won't mess it up too bad.
Out.
You know what I mean? Let me find this tweet here. He says, I will be deactivating my Twitter sooner than soon. That's crazy. Sooner than soon. That's different.
That's fast.
So whatever I'm trending about, I do not care. Laughing emojis. Y'all have a good evening. Salute. To my real fans that genuinely love your boy, get ready for a barrage of the dopest music you're gonna hear in hip-hop. Peace, strong producer. So my response to that is, this is an explanation of when saying nothing is the best option.
Yeah.
That's what I believe when it comes to Pete Rock.
Right.
Mesito, voicing the young people. I feel like the youngest at the table might have a unique perspective on what Pete Rock is doing right now. So what do you think about this tweet in the aftermath of Nas's bars on KD3?
Well, Pete Rock is feeling the pressure. You know what I mean? Like, as all of us on the internet have felt the Nas fan presence online.
Nah, this is
Sometimes
P-Rock,
it can
bro.
get crazy. You know what I mean? So imagine.
I want problems.
Right. Smoke. From what I hear, he got a lot of problems in his hood.
Oh
That's a whole
my
other issue.
God.
All right.
Wow.
Well, let me just cut in real quick because I'm a Pete Rock fan. Y'all all know I'm a Pete Rock fan,
Right.
like musically as a producer, right? But he seems to have a lot of problems with a lot of people.
Can I double down on that, Sin? Pete Rock, for a legendary producer, has a lot of regular nigga tendencies, and it's very unacceptable in 2022.
Word,
Go
man.
ahead,
I be
Sid.
following him on his Instagram, and I'm like, I almost be wanting to unfollow him because I'm like, this is making me be less of a fan, man. I don't need to know your conspiracy theories. I don't need to, like, he be sharing shit that has absolutely no source, zero source whatsoever, but because it's on the internet, he will believe it and then repost it.
Oh, so he's the target audience?
Like your crazy uncle that don't know the difference between facts and a fucking internet rumor. And I'm like, yo, like, I wish it didn't have to be him, man. But
You hate it had to be him?
yeah, man.
Right, his social media presence, just like you say. I was gonna say your uncle that just got out from a bed. When I said his social media, that's like his whole energy. Like when he types, the font he uses, you know what I mean, the exclamation points. Like the thing is, like Pete Rock, he's in a difficult position. Under his own doing. He been talking shit for years, you know what I'm saying? So, listen, man, Nas put out the joint. He just tapped him. He didn't even really go hard. He didn't slander his name. So, you know, this little bit of pressure that Nas put him under got him, you know, panicking, talking about he gonna get offline. So, you know,
Is it Nas or the Nas fans? Because
Nas fans,
them niggas
man.
activate.
It might be the
Boy,
fans. I
I
don't
trust
think
me.
it's
I
Nas.
know how Nas fans give it up. Y'all done tried to run me off the block a few times.
That's what I'm
but I'm
saying.
still here.
The Nas fans that have you under pressure, and
it's heavy.
that's one thing that I wanted to say in the aftermath in general is that Nas fans, you know, they're numerous online. They are heavy hand online, and when I say this, I mean this complimentary, but their online presence is similar to like a Beyonce or Nicki Minaj fan base. For rap, you know what I mean? I don't mean the fanaticism, but I mean they're heavy online. They will
find you. They will find you.
They will find you.
Love Me, More Meticulous, and Soulmatic, and who's the other guy? Mike 100. They keep finding me. So
to the point that they say Sin ain't a real Nas fan. You know what I mean?
Nah, you're right. You're right. Go proceed. Yeah, keep cooking. Fuck them.
Beautiful Mind said he wasn't a real Nas fan. The other dude asked him if he went to West Bubblefuck, New Jersey for the Nas concert.
Asked him a specific date. Like, did you make the show with Redman?
Did you have on your Nas shirt when you went?
So when we tell you we know how y'all get and we respect y'all for it, and like we understand why Pete Rock is ducking the fade right now, we get it.
We respect y'all shit. Trust us.
We ain't hear from you yet, bro. Like, what do you think about this Pete Rock situation?
I think well, it could be two ways. It could be that shit really hurt that nigga. That little jab, you know, that little touch that just really feels like a brick through the wall. Maybe it's that. Or maybe he's looking at it like, yo, I could capitalize off this. My name's in the, you know, in the atmosphere. I can throw some shit out, you know, get people to tune in. Like he said, I got music on the way. That's enough to get a lot of people to tune in. P-Rock still is a legendary producer. We're not gonna show him on that level. But you do be bugging out, my nigga.
There you go. There you go.
Doing a bit much.
And we say this with love, man. At least I do.
We say it with a lot of love.
Man.
But like you gotta cut the regularities out. Like you can't do the things you do and say the things you say in your position in hip hop. You know, like we always talk about it. Well, I know I talk about it. When you're in media or when you're in the public eye, you have a certain responsibility to not necessarily act accordingly, but be mindful of your actions. Bro, when we think of you, we don't want to think about it 2022 you or 2021 you. We want to think about the legend that you
Classic
are.
shit.
Now, I shouldn't be on a rap roundtable clowning you because you be doing some fuck shit. You know what I mean? Like, come on.
You giving that free Wi-Fi energy, Pete.
Right.
Like, let's keep it a buck, man.
As far as
you giving that library internet energy. You about to print out some questionable
that
shit.
bad Wi-Fi.
Word, bro. Like, come on.
As far as the KD aftermath, I mean, it's warranted. We didn't know they were gonna put out the kind of heat they put out. We knew it was gonna be fire, but this elevated a lot of things.
Okay.
And yeah, it is jaw dropping. It is monumental. It is crazy to see a dude who's almost 50 rapping for 30 years. You know, still this sharp, still this precise. It is amazing to see. Like, we might be visualizing like one of the best producer rap fucking combos like ever. And it's like
Aren't they there now?
That's
Wouldn't
not
you
a
say it?
stretch. That's not a stretch.
and it's
at all.
happening right before us. That's why it might be hard for those extra OD Nas fans to grasp
the
on
old
what's
heads.
happening right now. You know, sometimes, you know, there's always those people that are first. They see the light, they see what's happening. And then there's those other people that they need a little time to come around. When time comes around, bro, like, for the people who see it already, this shit is amazing. Like, it's borderline a classic to me tonight. You get what I'm saying? I gave it 4 spins, and it keeps getting better.
You know what? Y'all keep going because I want to find another tweet because you mentioned something about a producer rapper combination and how people can't get with that. And there's another tweet on the internet because again, we don't make any of this shit up.
Nah.
And we're gonna show y'all today, especially for the new people here. Everything we talk about, more often than not, we found it on the internet. So, in the mean, go ahead, fellas. I'm finding that tweet.
Just to piggyback off of what Dini was saying, because like off wax before we started recording tonight, I was chopping it up with the fellas, telling them how like usually when we do some type of reaction or review to an album, we usually talk about like the song runs that were like elite.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like 3 song runs, 4 song runs, but we didn't do that with this album. And the reason we didn't do that with this album is because like the album itself was just like such an elite run, beginning to end. It felt like
Album
right?
is a run.
Much
That's a
like
fact.
Magic, where you just press play.
Somebody had an issue with me in the comments. I'll address it just lightly because they thought that I said I didn't like the first 2 songs, Get a Reporter and what's the second?
I mean, you kind of gave the indication that you might not be fucking with.
No,
legit.
I thought they were good. They just didn't wow me as soon as I threw the like right out the box 1 and 2. Like that didn't wow me.
Not the way Thun
as the
did.
first and second song on the album. But when Thun hit, that's when I was like, oh, we're in for a serious ride. But then I just want to go through this run. It went from Thun to Michael and Quincy, 30, Hood to Hood, Recession Proof, Filthy, Reminisce, The Serious Interlude. That's 7 straight songs that were absolute bangers. Just like, and
5-star songs.
And so seamlessly put together so seamlessly sequenced that it just felt like the songs go by and you're like, holy shit. Like I remember back in the day.
Where's that drop?
I'm not comparing. Please don't misquote me out there. I'm not comparing this album to.
Wait, hold on, wait. Here it is.
Yeah, there it is. I'm not comparing this album to Raekwon's Cuban Links, but I do have a very vivid memory of listening to Cuban Links for the first time, and like it was just song after song, and I'm like, yo, what's next? What could they possibly do next? And
the Thrill was the next song.
Right. And then it was just like another banger. And that's exactly how I felt about this 7-song run. Then I'm on Fire was good. I don't hate it. It was good. But then WTF, and then Once a Man, Get Light, and First Time. That's another 4-song run, like right after it.
Heavy.
Yo, man, I don't want this to become another reaction.
You don't want to continue to bloviate.
Yeah,
that's fair. But we gonna bloviate. They here for the bloviations. You know what I mean? Well, I found the tweet situation that I was looking for. So, Kill 889 says, "I'm gonna be the odd man out in this thought process, but the last thing I want is a Nas/Primo collabo album in 2022." Referencing something we talked about, I think, last episode or the episode before that. Like Push said, that ship has sailed. I could see his perspective on that, right? But that's not the crux of the issue. My homeboy, Maad NYC, Maadi BK, my guy, I've known him 20 plus
he be
years.
ringing bells on Twitter.
You know what I'm saying? That's I mess with him on purpose because I know him in real life. So it'd be like, you know what I mean? He got mad at me today. God told him his take was horse shit, but it was. You know what I mean? He says, that shit will be predictable as fuck. A Nas Pete Rock, a Nas Madlib, a Nas Q-Tip, a Nas Alchemist album will all be better than Nas Primo. People who want that Primo album are stuck in 1994. These are all fair critiques. But then he says he needs to move on from Hit Boyville. And that's where the rap roundtable is going to stop the train. So, Deanie, I feel like, the three of us have been talking a lot, so I'm coming right back to you again. He says move on from Hit Boy after this 4-album run. What is your response to Ahmad?
Lay off the weed.
And that's coming from you.
This dude got to be high, bro. Like,
Insider.
are these dudes not listening to what we listening to?
They must
KD 1, 2, 3, Magic.
Listen, you know they love to complain, Dan.
Like, nah, bro. Like, usually I leave room for, you know what, I like something. Like, let's say Mr. Mid. You like something, I don't like it too much, and then we can have a debate. I'm not debating.
We're gonna talk about Mr. Mid later because I don't want to confuse people. We gotta clarify
Big
that.
facts.
You're gonna get on that.
I'm not. I don't need to be sold. I don't need to be moved. Like, the music has done all that shit for me, bro. I pressed play. I was fucking wild. Like, if you're not wild by this shit, I need to listen to what you're listening to. Because that shit, if you got something better than this, bring it. Because I have not found nothing better this year.
And it's like people are so quick to want to, because I shout somebody, but I see that take, you know, I don't want to say often, but enough for me to feel alarmed. You know what I mean? And people need to realize the type of how impactful it is for Nas and Hit Boy to be doing this. This is like Stevie Wonder and Dr. Dre making 4 classics in 88. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is real deep for someone that's a pillar of old school hip hop at this point, and somebody who's a pillar of modern hip hop to combine and basically make something better than everything else. So it's like with their powers combined. You know what I mean? Kobe and Shaq. But it's like, so y'all wanting to move past this so quick when this is like unprecedented. Not only the quality, but just the fact that we're getting a rapper from 94 and a producer from 2010 together making modern classics. It's like, nah, we should appreciate this and we should kind of maybe follow the lead a little bit.
And the thing is too that a lot of people a lot of times will look at things as they are on paper and how they look on paper. Like, for instance, if you say, you know, Nas and Alchemist should link up in 2022, I bet, because Nas is sounding better, almost better than ever on these Hit Boy albums, and Alchemist is doing this thing on the production side, you know, with the Rock Marcy's and Freddie Gibbs of the world and stuff like that. But that doesn't necessarily mean that when you put them two in a room that they will create magic or the, you know, the
no
level,
pun intended,
right, or the level of output that Nas and Hit Boy are putting out right now, right? Sometimes, like, individually, artists and producers will be, you know, incredible, amazing on their own, doing their own separate thing, but then you put them together, they don't really mesh. Look at Nas and Kanye. We all thought that shit was gonna be like just
a layup,
a given classic, and that shit was like a 3 tops. You know what I mean? So,
and that wasn't Nas's fault. That was Kanye's fault.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I mean, I feel like another name I was seeing out there was Nas and Madlib. Hey, I'd be more than interested than anybody, but again, it doesn't necessarily mean just because Nas is at an elite level right now and Madlib is at an elite level separately, that when they come together that they're just gonna have the same chemistry that Nas and Hit Boy are having right now. That doesn't come, you know, it doesn't come along all the time.
Along with throughout their relationship, and I think this is shown in KD3, especially when my man got Nas rapping over drill tracks. Nas has put his trust in Hit Boy. Exactly. You know what I mean? He believes in Hit Boy's vision. He thinks that Hit Boy wants the best for his music and his catalog. So it's not like, you know, just throw Michael Jordan and Magic Johnson on a team together and they're gonna make gold. You know what I mean? Nah, sometimes you have to think about, you know, the intangibles involved. Right. And at this point, Hit Boy and Nas are like, come on. He has his complete trust.
Right. And that's the thing that you making that point. I was gonna actually make that same point. And it's also about chemistry. Just to say, I put this artist in, made that point, put this artist with producer A. Producer Walter was in the building tonight. No Josh, we got Walter in the building. It's not always gonna work. You know what I'm saying? Like, you would have thought D'Antoni and Kobe wants to score. You put Mike D'Antoni with Kobe Bryant, it would make sense. It didn't make sense. He ran Kobe into the ground, popped his Achilles. Right. Sometimes when you get that magic, no pun intended again, you have to hold on to it. You can't just say, get rid of this guy. Honestly, Ahmad,
the fuck are you talking about? The fuck are you talking about?
And to be clear, like, I'm very well aware that Nas and Alchemist have classic material in their bag already, in their discography together. But that was 20 years ago.
Alchemist,
what it'll be like
that's
now.
what I was gonna say. Alchemist now in 2022 is not late 90s, early 00s.
Exactly. Not at all.
Alchemist. The Sonics are completely different.
Yeah.
The vibe is completely different. And honestly, like, if you telling me that he needs to move on from Hit Boy and you call yourself a Nas fan, I got to question if you want the best for Nas. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck are you listening to? What are you looking for?
Don't fix it if it ain't broke.
Quite
man.
frankly, like, the part of the reason what makes these albums hit is because of the level of energy, the level of juice, pause, that
That's a good one. Good call.
there you go. that Hit Boy is bringing to the table for Nas. You asking Nas to go link with Madlib, that changes the entire aesthetic.
Absolutely.
That's how I felt about that little track he did with Primo. I was like, I don't want that little one track to fuck up with him and Hit Boy.
It's like
got
you
going
on a
you know?
certain track. It's like you driving on a highway and you put a pothole on the highway. Not to say that Madlib is a pothole. What I'm saying is the flow and the vibe of what Hit Boy and Nas are doing to now go to Madlib and what his sonics are or what Pete Rock's sonics are. That's a sharp left turn.
Yeah.
His current speed and velocity should stay the way it is. You can alter one thing and change the entire
Like,
course.
you can't be selfish here. Like, again, we talked about this months ago where y'all keep calling us Nas haters. We've been reporting the Nas news the best on the internet, in my opinion.
It's been objective.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
You look at the situation and it's like, boy, you don't want this man to change. This is the run you've been looking for from Nas.
You're gonna change the triangle offense.
Word.
And again,
Phil Jackson.
Like I said,
Yeah, I mean,
like I said a couple episodes ago, or last episode, one of them. They hate that it's a 2010 producer.
Oh.
They want it to be a producer, dusting off the MP60, breaking out the floppy disks. You know what I mean?
Then you're
to hook up,
selfish. It's not about Nas at that point.
Like 8, 9, 10
Shouldn't the
cables to
music
get the
matter
right
more?
hookup.
Nah, they choosing their sensibilities.
Yeah,
over the music.
exactly. Yep.
And dusting off the MPC is right because Jaw dropped a tweet in the chat from Ransom. And the point that he makes is that even Nas is always Nas, but around KD1, he might have sounded a little rusty to himself. And he's a great rapper, so he's going to hear that shit a little bit more than your average listener. So it's like, that's the thing. Nas is not only, he's recording at such a frequency that he has no dust on his game, no rust on his game. Is Primo producing at the frequency that he doesn't have rust on the MPC?
Not from what we heard on the that little tape he did, the little 50 piece.
And I'll take it a step further. What happens if Nas does make that Primo album and then it's not as good as the KD run? How are people going to react? Are they going to be honest about it?
It's going to fracture the space because it's going to be us. Let's say now, let's talk through the scenario. Let's say the album isn't what it is. We come on a rap round table. We say, you know what? That album ain't it. Like, we like the Hit Boy run better. There's going to be a group of fans who are livid.
Absolutely.
They're going to be pissed.
Livid.
Take off.
Yes.
They're gonna dislike the videos, pitchforks,
right,
unsubscribe,
right.
Then they're gonna argue with the other fans who agree with us, like, yeah, this ain't it, because Hit Boy was doing better. It just ruins all the goodwill that's been built up.
They're gonna announce their unsubscription first.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Shout out to those dudes. I'm subscribing dudes.
Yo,
fuck out.
Let me remind y'all again. If y'all wanna unfollow or unsubscribe, we will never give a fuck, okay? And it's not because we don't appreciate the people who do subscribe, but it's like if you subscribe and you haven't figured out what this show is about by now, then this show is not for you.
Bye.
You know what I'm saying?
Deuces.
We're not experts telling you what to think. Four friends talking about
opinions.
rap. Sometimes it's Josh, sometimes it's Walter, sometimes it's Josh B, and we're talking about rap. And I want you mentioned Mr. Mid in the mid step before we go to the next segment.
Can we stop?
I want to make it clear.
Catchy, Sen. Hold on to it. Pause.
I want to make it clear. When we make fun of rappers, specific rappers like the elites like Kendrick or Jay-Z or sometimes Nas, yes, it happens. It's because we're friends and we know what buttons to push. Sincere loves Nas. There might be a random episode where I say some crazy shit about Nas, but it has nothing to do with Esco. It's all about Sincere. I just want to piss him off. We say Mr. Mid in the mid-step is because that's Kurt of the young rappers that he loves Kendrick. So we're gonna say the album is mid to piss Sin off. If
on
he
now.
says a Schoolboy or Pusha album is whack, or Big Sean, don't talk about Big Sean around me. You know what I'm saying?
Listen,
Y'all think I don't catch these Lil Wayne jokes, bro? Like, come on, man.
Hurdling them shits, bro. All
They be stomping me out,
bro,
by
I
Wayne,
just
man.
remembered the other day that Big Sean was on KD1.
Damn it, man.
I completely erased that from my memory bank.
Kendrick.
Yikes.
Wow.
That wrinkle was ironed out of my brain.
That's
Wow.
crazy.
And this is what I'm trying to show you guys. It has nothing to do
Wow.
with Big Sean the rapper. But I like Big Sean. They don't like Big Sean. And I get made fun of because I like Big
It
Sean.
happens, man.
Deanie likes
We
the
friends.
vibey music. I call him the fakest Jay-Z fan alive.
I take it.
It's nothing personal. It's my man. I love this nigga. But sometimes I feel like he be playing both sides. You know what I mean?
Two favorite rappers.
There you go. So I feel like we need, every time we get a influx of subscribers, we have to give them a show menu. We just can't expect them to know what's going on.
Facts.
Because they think we just here with opinions that we know better than them. Nah, we just love rap.
Just four guys, man.
So we were talking about Hit Boy, right? Producers, sounds, aesthetics. I know I gave y'all a show rundown, but then I thought about it after the fact. The natural progression for this show would be to talk about how heads in the culture have certain sensibilities and how it plays through beat for beat. So Sincere pointed out to me that there's been a schism on the internet where the air quote lo-fi heads or the drumless loop heads it's not a unanimous love affair. You know what I mean? We saw some of that just recently with Rome Streets dropped with the conducted beats and the drops and some of the choices with these beats. I saw a tweet where someone was talking about Nicholas Craven and saying, "Oh, you taking Craven is fire? You hating on Hit Boy, but saying Craven is fire," which is Nicholas Craven slander. I think all of it is fire, but the drumless angle, the drumless side of the coaches has people who have issues with them. So the producer at the table is going to talk to us about said issues.
Producer.
Yeah, man. I've noticed this. It's been growing for some time because the wave has kind of been growing for some time. And I think it's culminating now where like a lot of the older heads, a lot of it's probably a Venn diagram with a lot of common space between Nas fans that just want Illmatic and Primo and Pete Rock, and the segment of listeners who really hate the drumless wave. There's probably a lot of common area there because again, a lot of these people are just living in one era of rap.
Right.
Now, to me, I'm speaking for me, right? Personally, drums. I love drums. I love like the dusty drums, like classic drum breaks. Like it's basically what I mean. Hip hop was damn near built off of the James Brown funky drummer break, right? And all types of classic breaks that the DJs would loop up, and then the break dancers would start breaking. And the MC was like at that point like almost third on the list behind the DJs and the breakers. But I'm not. I keep enough of an open mind to say, you know what? Just because this is the affinity that I have, this is what I grew up with, that this is how it has to be all the time for everybody. You know what I mean? And so what has happened recently is, and I think that again, we always draw a line right back to Rock Marcy. Rock Marcy, he really sort of created this space where he took his career and that indie movement into his own hands, and just said, you know what, I'm gonna make my own beats, and I'm not even gonna add no drums to it. I'm just gonna find the dopest, flyest loops and just rhyme over them. And that shit resonated with a lot of people, right? A lot of MCs. Again, the Griselda movement is a direct lineage from Rock Marcy, right? Now, do I think all of it is dope? No, but I also don't think that everything that has drums on it is dope. You know what I mean? It just it depends on who's doing it and how they freak it. You know what I mean?
Good point.
But I do sort of want to push back against the overt hate that I see for drumless instrumentals, drumless beats, and producers who make beats with little or no drums. Sometimes it's very sparse drums. Sometimes it's no drums at all, right? But I want to push back against that hate because this isn't a new thing. This is not a new thing at all. I could go down a list of classic hip hop records that didn't have drums. Ghostface, All I Got Is You. Not a single drum in that whole song, that whole beat. Busta Rhymes, New York Shit, classic.
Yeah, it's a classic.
Classic mid-2000s, mid-aughts, no drums. Wu-Tang, Hollow Bones. That Nas and Swiss joint from a few years back. Echo,
yes.
Just a loop,
Fire
no
record.
drums.
That was really the prequel to what
Bro,
King
and that
became.
shit
That's a
was
fact.
just like sublime. You know what I mean? So I want to push back against all of this, like just blanket hate over all producers of being lazy and they're not adding drums. How can you have beats with no drums? We've had beats with no drums before, and we have classic hip hop records that are well loved and well respected that didn't have drums. It's not a new thing, and if it's dope, it's dope. And I actually kind of like that for certain MCs and certain artists, it kind of opens them up to not be dictated by where the drums are.
Formulaic.
Right, and it opens them up to like find a pocket instead of having the pocket dictated by the drums. I think it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing.
And so on that note, I'm gonna push forward on the hate, bro. So I'm sorry, bro. I need some drums in my joint. Like I don't want
Top rope mace.
I don't want my food without soul. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to wear shoes with no socks. You know what I mean? Some shit is needed, bro. I'm sorry. So it's like, yeah, Sin did name some joints,
Get rid of this guy.
but that was a joint from 96, from 2006, and 2018. In 23 years, we've had 3 hot beats with no drums, bro.
Nah, that's just
I'm
come
sorry.
on.
Man.
All I
Don't do
got,
that.
like,
The
I'm
one
just
hot,
saying.
one hot album
hold
every
on,
10 years.
hold on,
No, don't do
Mace with
that.
the
What the fuck are you
fuego.
talking about?
And so, you know,
What the fuck are you talking about?
listen, my ancestors was beating on drums. This shit is in my heart, brother.
Wow.
It's some shit I just
Not
needed.
the
And
Fire and
while-
brimstone, nigga.
And while I could admit, the caveat is that a lot of the rappers rapping over drumless beats are super nice. So you
Right.
get drawn to it because of that aspect.
Right.
But
I can't
I'm not,
even drink my drink right now.
I'm sorry, bro. I gotta keep it a buck, man. Y'all know me. I like my drums, bro. I like my 808s. I like the shit banging in my ears. Pause, man.
Hey, yo.
Hey, pause.
Whoa.
Hold up. You didn't like Champagne Poetry?
Fire. Champagne Poetry was decent.
Decent?
Decent.
That song was
All
fire.
right. You just lost your OVO card again.
OVO Mace.
Move this man.
I don't even like Drake, but Champagne Poetry was
I ran
fire.
up them
Champagne Poetry
her
got
law streams
freestyled
too
on by
much.
so many rappers because
Everybody.
it was fire.
It was cool.
Wow.
Whoa.
Hey,
I had
hold
to,
on,
I had to-
hold on.
I had
Hold
to
up.
let it be known.
One
man.
more time.
I had
Who
to
is
let
this
it be
guy?
known.
Where did he
man.
come from?
Listen.
And why do we fucking keep acting like
Shit,
he's somebody
we could-
that we need to fuck with?
I get one of
Get
those
rid of
every
this guy.
episode.
We can take it back to EPMD. Listen to my demo. No drums. Kanye, Gorgeous. Bound 2. Even No More Party. No More Parties, you hear some drums in there, but it's like...
It's a splash of drums.
Yeah,
a little
yeah,
salt bay with the drums. You know what I'm saying?
What's that Tyler joint? Hot Wind Blows with Lil Wayne?
Oh, that
Elite.
was fire.
Lil Wayne,
With your
huh?
mans. With your mans.
Hey.
You didn't like that song?
Lil Wayne can rap even on no drums. Salute to the God.
Here we
Fucking
go.
pandering ass motherfucker.
Here we go.
Anyway, Didi, talk to me about these drums, bro.
Yo, I'm halfway there. As the balance, like sometimes that shit really works. Sometimes no drums actually, like Sin said it best. If you ever rapped, sometimes the drums can really confine you. You get what I'm saying? When there's no drums, you can really maneuver freely through all types of parts of the record that you wouldn't have if there were drums there.
Right.
Like Sin's proving his point and kind of hurting his point at the same time, because like we named like 15 good records out of the
I mean, I could go on and on. I have a whole playlist. And if the listeners
out.
out there
Put it
are
out.
interested, thumbs up if you want to tap into my playlist.
Coliseum.
You want that drumless playlist?
I'll share it on my YouTube.
here for it.
Yeah.
But I think some people would consider it lazy. But to me, like if you make a meal and the meal just comes out just right
This
before you
nigga
add
with the
the
food
fat nigga gotta
analogy.
cook. And the shit tastes perfect before you add the final thing you were supposed to add to it. You might just fuck around and leave it like that. You might add that little extra thing and fuck up the whole plate. You get what I'm saying? If it works, it works. And sometimes those drumless beats do work, man. Like, they work, mace. Every once in a while, you'll find a record without them drums that just, oh, this shit right here.
Listen,
And the artist usually cooks.
You know what? I gotta shoot that Mace a little bit. Pause.
Talk to me.
Like the issue with the drumless shit for him is that his era, you know, he's the OG of his era, but his era, they don't care about lyrics. They just want the drums to knock so they can get lost in the drums. They don't give a fuck about the music.
All them drums though,
Yeah,
man. Repeat the same ball
but-
3 times. I don't
but
care.
The rapper's nice enough, he could do that for you.
But it's story time with Jarv. So I'm gonna take y'all back to, I want to say 2005, pre-library, pre-meeting any one of these niggas at the table, right? I was going to school at IAR. So if you're from New York, you remember the IAR. You remember the commercial on the radio, right? I got roped into that shit. There's a lot of y'all that got roped into that shit. So
Shit was like the 4X of schools, bro.
nigga, the 4X and they were rock, nigga. Shit was like almost 13 bands for the fucking
bread.
Oh my god, for a year, nigga. Shit. But anyway, in the midst of going through the curriculum, right? They gave us the original joint that Dr. Dre sampled for Ain't Nothing But a G Thing.
Yeah.
And in that moment, I was like, yo, if someone could rap on this right now without whatever Dre did, just loop it up, this would go crazy. And you know what it wouldn't have? Drums.
Absolutely.
And we came across a lot of original samples where my ear was like, if you loop this shit up, because it reminded me of what it became, you don't need any fucking drums. So I can see how that space, I honestly, I thank Sin. I thank you. Because you opened that door for me to realize that there was a space for some shit that I was thinking about in 2005. And niggas was rapping on this shit. And because the thing is, if you're a nice, and now we got to really talk about it. If you're a nice rapper, if you're an elite rapper, you don't need the drums to tell you where the pocket is.
Right.
Every beat you've ever heard, the beat tells you where the pocket is.
Facts.
Right.
And if you're super dope enough, you can dictate the pocket. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You see what Rock Marcy does.
Right.
You see when Westside tries to get his Rock Marcy or what he does with it. But then on a different level, what Benny and Conway have done with drumless beats. And fucking Ransom recently. Ransom is a monster with Craven.
Yeah. Hell
Boldy James recently. You know what I'm saying? With that Craven tape. Fucking amazing. Right? But at the same time, here's where I'll be the balance for a change. There are beats where you don't need drums and the artist comes through and it's fire. But I think that it's allowing some niggas who are not good at making beats to enter the space because they could chop a sample well.
Yep.
Your beat needs a drum.
Right.
Maybe an Alchemist beat or Craven beat doesn't need a drum.
Right.
But Joe Nobody's beat needs some drums. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Sincere knows when he needs drums. You know what I'm saying?
Technician.
Y'all culture vultures are people who just trying to make a way in a space, not using drums. E-Beats need some drums. There's a certain producer that we won't talk about. As his crew has elevated, they've moved away from you and they've gone to drums. I wonder why. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I wonder why.
So what I'm saying is, to me, there's no picture perfect way with this space. But what we need to police the whack niggas who are trying to enter the space with no drums because it's an easy thing to chop a sample and loop it up. Fuck out of here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I feel that.
Where's my fuck out of here? There you go. We don't want you here. We want the guys who are good at chopping drumless loops, not Joe Nobody. Stay out the space. You know what I'm saying? Next segment. We talked about it on 58. GOAT Posse cuts. You know what I'm saying? We talked about the death of Posse cuts.
Yeah.
So now we want to talk about the Posse cuts that make us love what that means to the culture and why we believe it's still important to the culture. So chat, as you're here, we're talking about Posse cuts. Throw it in the chat. What songs you think dictate, in your opinion, the best creme de la creme of the Posse cut? So Sin, you batted lead off. You doing a hell of a job. You batting 1,000 tonight. You know what I'm saying? I think Deanie opened the segment, so let's let Mace open the segment. For the young guys.
Hey, for the young guys. And when it came to Posse Cut, I did want to give it up to the young guys. That's the intention that I came with. You know what I mean? You mentioned One Train back in the initial conversation. You know, we got some black hippie classics that I could have threw up in there. You know what I mean? Monster. You know what I mean? The modern Posse Cut classic of the 2010s. You know what I mean? But I gotta keep it a buck. 4, 3, 2, 1 is my favorite Posse Cut, bro. And even better when they throw the OG Cannabis verse on that
I gotta
joint.
applaud that,
man. I'm sorry, that's my favorite Posse Cut ever. You know, of all of them, like I felt
that,
LL
man.
had the best verse. You know, that's my favorite LL verse ever. You know, I'm not the LL expert, so y'all might have some
Shout out to
ones.
Baylor.
You know what I mean?
I bet I go for more millenniums than Monsters got on the call lot,
Come
bro.
on, with the cats throwing balls on the track with
Redman
each
too.
other. LL bringing out an early X. You know what I mean? Redman and Meth on the joint.
Master P.
Gave Master P a verse. You know what I mean? They say that Jay-Z is the first one to like get on some Master P shit. Nah, LL threw Master P on the joint. So I'm gonna go with and Cannabis staking his claim, starting one of the best, you know, one of the most
Back and
memorable
forths.
back and forths in hip hop history. So me, I'm gonna go with 4, 3, 2, 1.
I like that. I tried to stay away from going with like Posse Cuts from Cruise. I mean, because if we were going Posse Cuts, I could just take any Wu-Tang Clan song and just kind of do that. I could take pretty much any Bad Boy song and do that.
I mean, it is what it is.
Because I would have probably went with Benjamin just for the sheer.
What does your heart tell you?
My heart tells me banned from TV.
It's applaud that,
everything
man.
is on that. We got a classic pun verse. We got Cam and witty as fuck. We got maybe one of the best in and out verses from Styles P and Kiss. Noriega mumbled a lot of shit at the end, but it sounded good.
That's a classic Nature verse.
Nature started it off heavy, like
Pussy with my father's features, boy.
Pump
like-
heavily. See me at 6'1", weigh $170.
I know I was gonna get it started, yeah.
Yeah, that's my shit. But yeah, I would probably go with Banned from TV.
Solid choice, man.
That's a classic choice.
Yeah, man.
And
listen,
Go ahead,
Good
Sam.
I have a very long list here. Just
Of course you
because,
do.
Sincere rap
just because
He came
Posse
prepared.
Cuts are just so dear to my heart, yo. Like it comes from an era that's just like it feels bygone at this point. We talked about it in the last episode where it was, it was a lot of friendly competition, a lot of like, friends and people in the same crew, but like who's gonna get the best verse, who's gonna get the upper hand, a lot of steel sharpening steel, pause if applicable.
Now you're good now. You're
Okay,
good now.
thank you. All right, no
You got it
swords,
right.
but
There's a story behind that.
Yo, so I just want to give off some honorable mentions first before I crown.
How long is this list?
I'm not going to mention all of them.
Okay.
But there's some that I definitely need to get in there as honorable mentions. Of course, Live at the Barbecue.
okay.
The introduction to the world to a young
Basketball.
Nasir. Niggas on Sardis something by DMX
That's
with Mace and the Locks.
man.
Blackout 2. I like Black, but I always went for Niggas on Sardis something more.
Blackout's so colossal though.
Flavor in Your Ear remix.
Oh,
That's a great one, Sin.
Super classic. And then I'm gonna go for a few curveballs.
okay.
I'm gonna throw So Appalled into the conversation
Nice.
over Monster, mind
No,
you,
Soul Appalled is for the culture.
It's heavy.
because I know Mace mentioned Monster, and Monster was the big Posse Cut record of that time.
Nikki 8.
And Nikki ate that for sure. Props to her. But So Appalled to me was I don't know. It just, there was something about it. Like you said, it was more cultural. I don't know what it was about it, but it was like, just the way each MC led into the next MC. And then there was like a little break before, what's his name came on the end? Sci-Hi.
It was everything about that song. Even Swizzy coming on one hand in the air. If you don't really
and
care.
RZA being thrown in there for no reason.
In the beginning,
Everything just it started. Yeah, like
Kanye did everything right with that
It
album.
was
he
it was a
did,
build up within that record that you felt like there was always something coming next.
whole verse.
I never thought of Dark Twisted Fantasy of having two of the greatest
verse,
Posse
man.
cuts
Yeah.
of all time. But
Yeah, we don't
He
talk
was-
about that enough.
Kanye was cosplaying as RZA on that album.
Hell yeah. And then one extra sort of curveball I'm throwing in there. Flip Mode versus Def Squad from Busta Rhymes, the coming album.
That's the curveball.
Wow.
I don't know how many people, because I don't ever hear this record mentioned at all, even in Posse Cut conversations. But this is one of my favorite Posse Cuts of all time because Redman, if you're not familiar with the record, go find it. It's called Flip Mode versus Def Squad.
Do your Googles.
And look out for the Redman verse on that because he went nuclear on that record. So that's always a personal favorite. But as for the Coronation, it's got to be Scenario to me. To me, it doesn't get any better as a Posse Cut than Scenario. The energy, the Busta Rhymes verse, the remix that came after it, which was such a different vibe, but almost as good. Some people will say it's better. Both Scenario and the Scenario remix, to me, as a Posse Cut, just doesn't get any better. Tribe and LONS.
Shout out to Charlie Brown.
Shout out to them, man.
Shit, that was gonna be one of my choices because much like Sin, certain topics I feel like you can't just make a pick and then move on. You got to talk about it a little bit. Scenario is definitely there for me. Like I always talk about it on the show. Like I think about being a kid watching Flavor videos and that video's coming on and then the joint when they have like you can see the shadow of the artist. I don't know the graphic, whatever you want to call it, but that shit always sticks out to me. Fire. You talked about Wu-Tang, Deanie. Protect Your Neck is up there for me. Protect Your Neck to me is the standard Posse Cut.
Triumph is up there.
Protect Your Neck is better than Triumph, in my opinion.
I'm gonna Protect Your Neck.
Protect Your Neck. Watch your step, kid. It's Protect Your Neck.
But does Wu-Tang count though?
That's why
that's why I can't make them V pick. If Wu-Tang, let us know, chat.
If
Wu-Tang counts,
grounds.
if Wu-Tang counts to me, Protect Your Neck is the penultimate, the pinnacle of Posse Cuts. Because everybody's verse is fire.
Yeah.
Right?
Even fucking You God, yeah.
Come on now.
Notice I didn't put any Wu-Tang songs on my list because I was just like, that's Wu-Tang though. That's a cheat code.
Mace talked about DJ Khaled, right? And to me, the All I Do Is Win remix is an epic Posse Cut. Right? The Make It Rain remix with Wayne. Epic Posse. And guys was really trying to wild out on these songs. To me, let's go to the South because they say we're biased. Think about when the Hot Boys first took off. The original Hot Boys, We On Fire song. Hot Boys, the Hot Boys, We On Fire. That was my
Project
shit.
Chick. Good.
Come on, give me a Project Chick. Talk about number one stunner when fucking the whole Hot Boys came on the third verse and everybody got off. Like again, we're not biased here. We just like what we like.
We give love.
You know what I'm saying? On the East,
all my joints were New York.
You right.
I ain't even gonna try to
uppercut.
Listen,
I love hip hop. On the West Coast side, Bitch Please Part 2.
True.
Part 2.
Yeah.
With the whole Death Row clique.
True.
Not the label. The clique. The Aftermath clique.
Yeah.
That's the devil. They always want to dance.
They bugged out.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
You go to the East Coast. 1-800-HUSTLER. 1-900-HUSTLER. Pardon.
Oh, yes.
You took one of my joints. What was it? Banned from TV.
Yeah.
Well, there was another joint from that era that doesn't get talked about enough. Pull It.
Oh, with Cam and X.
Come
But
on.
it was just Cam and
Yeah,
X.
but listen, but it was so monumental. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I thought he was gonna say John Blaze.
I'm sorry.
That was a heavy one too.
I was
John
a Pull
Blaze
It
was
guy.
heavy.
Pause.
Cross Bronx was
I
I'm
mean?
from the Cross Bronx with Pump My Man. That was another one.
Oh yeah, that was dope too.
It was 3 rappers, but I'm gonna cheat and say New York is a Posse Cut. You had 3 niggas on there,
Classic.
3 different boroughs.
That's true.
Classic. You know what I'm saying?
Ja Rule showed up.
Let's go to the Clue era, just because I just want to show y'all like I really love rap. There was a joint that Desert Storm did with the whole Desert Storm. It was on the Oh My God remix. Shout out to Tony Sunshine. It was basically a flip of the Money Power Respect beat, and it had the whole Desert Storm on there. From even I think Frank Billionaire might have been on that shit. When I say the whole Desert Storm was on there. Fire. But I say all of that, I'm just trying to give y'all the lay of the land. I think when you guys talked about the joint on Blueprint 2, Reservoir Dogs is up there. For me. You know what I'm saying? It's another track. I'm trying to remember. I want to make sure I cover all my bases. Money, Power, Respect is up there for me.
Yeah, that too.
But to me, for me, it's not Benjamin's, but I'm staying with Bad Boy. 24 Hours to Live.
Okay.
That's my personal.
That's a good one.
GOAT Posse cut.
Copy.
I feel like, tell me in the chat, what y'all think? Y'all heard our picks? What's your pick? And we can revisit it on episode 60. We'll talk about your picks on there. But 24 Hours to Live was, to me, Bad Boy at his peak. Only thing that song was missing was Big. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
But everybody's verse, fire. Storytelling.
Yeah.
Beat.
Yeah.
Pacing. Amazing, bro.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Well
X
crafted.
just
A story posse cut.
Walk
Just
right.
like, come on, a
Insane.
concept posse
Everybody
cut. Like,
cooked.
crazy.
Black Rob.
You know what? As
R.I.P.
time goes along, we forget about what because we only look at Bad Boy for the shiny suits, but we forget how fire the hitmen were and what Bad Boy was doing for a 3 to 4 year window of just classic shit.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'm going 24 Hours to Live because y'all don't talk about it enough. You know what I'm saying?
I like that pick.
That's a good one.
Another thing that
I like everybody's pick.
we're gonna reach back from episode 58. You know, we talked about Charlamagne saying that Mr. Morale and the Midsteppers is the most important album of all time. When we talked about it,
You said mid steppers instead of big steps. I just wanted.
I did.
It works. It
It's
just
a little
works.
bit of the Migos, bro.
It works.
I didn't mean to say it.
I don't even blame that on the Migos.
Oh,
I didn't mean to say
That
it.
was just reality
boy.
seeping
Wow.
That's just how he feels, guys.
Oh my
I mean,
God.
you thoughts come out.
Let's go.
Kendrick, where are you?
Playing with a puppet somewhere.
Damn.
That's great.
Mr.
That's
Morale and the
crazy.
Big Steppers. I'm sorry, guys. like we've decided to make sin the butt of that joke for so long. We can't even say the name of the album right.
It just works.
So, in the midst of us talking about that album and talking about Charlamagne's terrible take, somehow we ended up talking about Good Kid, Mad City,
Yes, sir.
and To Pimp a Butterfly. So the Rap Roundtable and the chat is here to talk about which album is truly the standard. Is it Good Kid, Mad City, or To Pimp a Butterfly? Sincere the Rap Snob, the floor is yours.
So I'm gonna cop out here.
Oh, come on, bro.
No, because this is honestly how I feel, right? So
Come on, son.
personal preference aside, and my personal preference is really by a sliver. You really can't go wrong with either one of those albums.
You can.
You cannot. It's impossible.
One's better than the other. Though. Which one is the better one?
They are both
Sincere the
masterworks.
politician.
They're both
I'm about to
masterworks
press that God
in their own.
Oh, word, hold on. You right.
Right.
Thank you, Dini. Where's it at?
But this is the shit I be talking about. But this is the shit I be talking about though. All right, so my heart of heart tells me both Good Kid, Mad City and To Pimp a Butterfly are both masterworks. From different perspectives, different angles, and different sonically, clearly. But if somebody were to tell me Good Kid, Mad City is better than To Pimp a Butterfly, I'm not going to argue them down. Somebody's going to tell me To Pimp a Butterfly is better than Good Kid, Mad City, I'm not going to argue them down, right?
The fuck are you talking about?
Once we start talking about Damn, that's a different story.
Damn better than
both of these albums are better than
No,
Damn.
it's not.
For sure.
Damn is better than To Pimp a Butterfly.
Yes, it
It
is.
is not.
It really is, though.
There's
It really
no way.
is.
However, but this is what's going on right now is the issue that I have.
What's going on?
What's going on right now?
The truth? Yeah, I don't understand.
When people want to like attack To Pimp a Butterfly
We're not attacking it.
as
we just put it in its rightful place.
as not being the masterwork that it is. When they want to like knock it down a peg, when they want to say like, yeah, but it, you know, they try to give you, they would try to tell you shit like it's not entertaining. There's no banger. You can't throw
Where's
that
the
on
banger?
in your car. You can't throw it on in the club. You can't ride to it.
What song is in the club?
It doesn't matter.
It does, though.
It doesn't matter at all. Because you can have a masterwork, you can have a masterful piece of art that has nothing to do with parties,
But it's
or
not a
clubs,
masterful piece of art.
or the car, or riding somewhere,
You white.
or bumping it in the whip, sometimes you just need
some political commentary.
Exactly. Sometimes you need some social commentary. Sometimes you need a piece of work that's not talking about the normal everyday shit.
I got a question.
What's up?
So why hasn't Kendrick gone back there?
What do you call Mr. Morale?
He didn't go all the way back
He didn't
there.
go all the way back there, but he went about 75% there, but
we
he
gotta
took,
start telling the truth
but
about
he took a
To
turn.
Pimp a Butterfly,
listen,
bro.
No, listen.
We gotta start telling the
listen,
truth.
Mr. Morale was almost like a sequel to Pimp a Butterfly.
It's not.
Hear me out.
All right, I'm sorry.
To Pimp a Butterfly was an album that talked about things on a macro scale. You know what I mean?
I don't want peace.
The ills of our community, the racism, the white supremacy, how the system is built to fail us all. And then Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers was him talking about that on a personal level and how all of that has affected him, and how all of that ended up making him the person that he is. And he realized, holy shit, like there's a lot of these curses that are being passed down to me, and I gotta like try to work through this shit somehow. And that's what the album was about. But there's a very clear lineage between To Pimp a Butterfly and Mr. Morale.
Okay.
So there's that. That's to answer your question, right? My bigger point is that you don't necessarily need something to sound like Good Kid, Mad City for it to be entertaining. I find To Pimp a Butterfly immensely entertaining. Just like if I'm watching a movie, I could watch Scarface and be entertained. I could watch Goodfellas and be entertained. I could also watch The Godfather and be entertained.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that The Godfather bores them to tears.
You're right.
What do you say to them?
To each their own.
To each their own, exactly.
The rap roundtable here.
But The Godfather is
Rap
widely
Roundtable.
renowned as a masterful piece
It's not.
of cinema.
The Godfather?
The Godfather.
Oh, yeah.
You're right. So I liken To Pimp a Butterfly.
It's not, though. That's what I want to say. It's not. Don't even disrespect
Good
The
Kid,
Godfather
Mad City.
like that.
Good Kid, Mad City. I make it like a
That's
Goodfellas.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, Good Kid, Mad City is like a Goodfellas.
Casino, Goodfellas, Good
ones
Kid,
that
Mad
everybody
City.
wanna watch.
Goodfellas is better than Casino. I think Casino is a little
it's up
overrated,
the
but
block.
Goodfellas is better than Casino.
Goodfellas is definitely
But
better than Casino.
one is a 6, one is a 5. I mean, it's fire. It's classic. You know what I mean?
My overall point being, it's different sounds, different pieces of work, both masterful in their own right. If you prefer one to the other, I'm not going to argue you down. Me personally, I give the edge to Pimp a Butterfly by a sliver.
Before we get into the actual topic, I need to know this because you know what? I've never asked this question to Sincere. What is your issue with Damn, bro? You be fronting on Damn hard.
Heavy. Interesting.
It was a little safe.
No, it wasn't.
It was safe.
It was fire.
It was a little safe. Some of the songs like XXX like does nothing for me.
Oh.
That was a song with Bono, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
does
a
nothing
perfect
for me.
song and name. I don't think anybody fuck with that.
Listen,
What was Love?
Bono.
I didn't like Love.
fire.
Love was dope, bro.
Eh.
You know
That's what
what?
God feels like. It took me a while to come around to God. That's what God feels like. I kind of like it now.
But this is the thing and this is the issue. You know what? I usually go last, but I'm gonna go second. I got a gripe with Sin because Sin once he believes something, it's hard to change his mind. I'm not here to try to change his mind. I'm just here to discuss the facts as they are presented to me.
Right.
If to Pimp a Butterfly is what you say it is, Damn would never exist. Damn is the exact result of the public saying, brother, we don't want that shit. Right? And he gave us Damn. Right?
He pandered. He appeased the public.
He didn't pander. He made a fire album.
He appeased the public.
He gave the fans what they wanted.
He gave the people that were not on the wavelength to Pimp a Butterfly.
No.
Just because they weren't on the wavelength doesn't mean that it wasn't dope.
You're right. So the problem is, you can say all of that, right? You can pump it all you want. But if Kendrick Lamar truly believed, because he's not an artist who panders to Sincere trying to really, you know what I mean? If he believed that this is what was necessary of him as an artist, he would have followed that up with some shit close to Pimp a Butterfly. But he gave you damn because he realized that, you know what? Maybe this wasn't what I thought it was.
And then what was
there was some,
after Damn?
I'm getting there. Okay. There was some standouts on Pimp a Butterfly. But Damn to me was the precursor to Mr. Morale and the Mid Steppers. I said it again, the Mid Steppers. The Big Steppers. Because
he can't help it, yeah.
When I look at Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, I think it's the spiritual continuation of To Pimp a Butterfly. But in fact, what I look at it is that is lessons learned from To Pimp a Butterfly. Of course, he talked about real life shit on there, but he delivered it in a way where people could still try to be entertained by it. Mm-hmm. You know, he gave you the political commentary. If there's anything similar, it's the commentary, the social commentary on both projects. But the way he delivered it, to me, Damn, it's for the white people. I said it 2 episodes ago. Like if you're
To Pimp a Butterfly, you mean?
Damn, I'm sorry. Casamigos, y'all. Give us a fucking sponsorship already. So when I listen to Pimp a Butterfly, I'm like, this album to me, he was trying to get a point across. Maybe he was in a different headspace and he was, you know, in his feelings. And you know, yeah, Geminis, no disrespect. When they get in their feelings, things tend to spill over. It's a lot of spillage with Gemini feelings.
Indeed.
And to me, To Pimp a Butterfly was the result of feelings. He learned his lesson. He gave you Damn. And from Damn, what did he do? He got to curate the Black Panther soundtrack, right? And then he looked around and said, you know what? I don't really like what the space looks like right now. The pandemic is nasty. But I got to give you niggas an album, you know, because they're saying 5 years. Mace is over here saying 5 years. Jarvis over here saying 5 years. Deanie's over here saying 5 years. Sincere's waving his pom-poms. So... And he tried his best to find a middle ground, because as an artist, when you have fans, you have to placate and appease your fans. Not the white fans who want that leftist liberal talk, but people who want to be what? Deanie? Entertained. Good Kid, Mad City is his to me, that's the standard. To me, Good Kid, Mad City is the only album in his collection where he gave you good radio records, good social commentary, good hood shit, good lyricism. Yeah. In fact, great. I'm being disrespectful. Great across the board.
It's amazing.
So,
yeah.
For me, actually, if we're comparing the two to bring it full circle, it's Good Kid, Mad City, because it did everything you wanted from a Kendrick Lamar album without sacrificing something else. To me, To Pimp a Butterfly sacrificed a lot of what he established on Good Kid, Mad City to his own detriment, to where he had to make a Damn, where a Sincere would be like, this ain't what I want. He hit the reset button with Damn, and to me, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers is what To Pimp a Butterfly should have been.
But what did he sacrifice exactly with To Pimp a Butterfly? I just need that to be clear.
Entertainment factor. I said that already.
So sales.
Sonics.
Good music.
Yeah.
No. Because the music was good.
It wasn't.
It was.
It wasn't.
It wasn't as good as Good
I don't know why we have to keep having this argument again. If what you're saying is accurate, look, Damn doesn't exist.
I've said it before. Look, first of all, he made
himself. Damn for a reason.
He's reinvented himself every single time.
No, bro. Damn was
how do you come from Damn to Mr. Morale?
N95.
Wouldn't he make another Damn if
N95 is your what, theory, bro? N95 is what?
That's one song out of 18,
bro. The joint with
according to your theory, why would he not make Damn Part 2?
He wants to argue, so let me go get the track list.
I'm here for this.
Since he wants to argue, you know what I mean?
Your theory doesn't fly. It doesn't pan out.
And the point guard.
It does not pan out.
You finished?
Round 3,000.
You finished?
If Damn is what you say it is, why would he have not made a Part 2?
Are you finished?
That's my question.
He didn't make a Part 2. Maybe you used to talking to super niggas. I keep telling you that. I'm not one of them super niggas. He couldn't make a Damn Part 2 because the space didn't require that. We were coming out of a pandemic. We were coming out of social injustice, social disruption. Kendrick felt like he had to talk about that shit.
So that wasn't the case with The Pimp a Butterfly.
Are you comparing 20 whatever the fuck to 2020?
2015.
Well, To Pimp a Butterfly came right off of the Trayvon Martin, Michael Brown, Ferguson riots.
But
So
what was
you could make the same
2020?
point.
A pandemic and social injustice. Cities all over the country getting destroyed. That's not the
Rioting,
same shit.
crazy
Come on,
shit,
bro.
yeah.
Again, Road Watch Steppers, N95, Die Hard. What do you mean, Silent Hill? He tried to make the radio records. He didn't. The difference between
Kodak on that motherfucker.
the difference between Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers and To Pimp a Butterfly is they were direct attempts on Mr. Morale to make radio records. And on top of that, he put the Heart Part 5 on that for a fucking reason after the fact. Why, Sin?
Great record.
Come on, bro. You know what I'm saying? To me, Damn doesn't exist without To Pimp a Butterfly because he realized that maybe he wants to go very deep and the people don't want that. And I'll shoot you some bail and I'll say that there's that low common denominator that you always talk about. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of people who don't want that highfalutin shit. They want the lowest common denominator.
Right. So one of my other points that I wanted to get to was that I feel like certain people, possibly some people at this table.
Go ahead, motherfucker.
They don't like they don't like people coming at them from what they perceive as a high horse.
Nah, it's not even that.
And I feel like a lot of people feel like Kendrick was coming on some high horse shit on To Pimp a Butterfly.
A little bit.
I can see that.
Yeah. See?
He was on his high horse shit, but you know what? And you know what? We talked about selfishness as fans. And I think coming off a Good Kid, Mad City and what he established as the direct opposite to what Drake established as an artist, for you to come right back with that as your follow-up was a bit disingenuous to what you had established with Good Kid, Mad City. Doing the remixes, the joints, Love Me, and all that other shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Why would you go so far left? I know he's an artist, but the reason Damn exists is because Kendrick himself as the artist, because it's clear that TDE can't tell him what to do. Kendrick himself as an artist realized, you know what? I might have been bugging on To Pimp a Butterfly. I went too far left. Let me scale it back.
Give some good records.
Then Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, there was a lot of lessons learned from Damn and To Pimp a Butterfly.
Yeah.
So what did he try to do? He tried to blend the two together to try to give you the radio joints, give you the stadium joints, and still give you the social commentary that a sincere is
Try
looking
to appease
for.
everybody.
Right, he tried to appease everybody. But the issue in hip-hop, in my experience with hip-hop, is once you try to appease everyone, you don't make a classic. And to me, that's why Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers is not a classic.
And you tick off all those little boxes of people that were here for certain things. So now the people that wanted the deep shit, now they're ticked off. The people that wanted the good records, the vibe too, now they're ticked off because they're getting a blend instead of what they actually really wanted.
Exactly. You know, Sin and I ended up arguing about the shit. I want to hear from Mason Dini.
Go ahead, Mason.
Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, so, you know, this is an interesting conversation because we just kind of went into it. And my thoughts were that To Pimp a Butterfly was the young person's Illmatic. You know what I mean? But, and I don't mean to jump you, Sin, but
fight back.
It's like I'm a Good Kid person. I've always thought that was Kendrick's best album.
Yeah.
I've always, you know, for me, and Sin, you might be biased. I might be biased in this way because it's like I literally remember listening to Good Kid for the first time. You know, like feeling this album came out when I was in my early 20s. My son was super young. You know what I mean? In the transitional part of my life, I remember Good Kid basically solidifying, you know, hearing Good Kid and looking around and seeing the Drakes and J. Cole's and the A$AP Rockies at the time and the Odd Futures at the time and feeling like a new generation in hip hop was upon us. You know what I mean? Like even when I was in my Lil Wayne, you know, mid to late 2000s era, Jay-Z and the like were still the guys, but Good Kid kind of signified, even Future was right around that wave. That kind of signified like a new era for me. You know what I mean? So I'm always gonna be a Good Kid person. You know what I mean? Like I always think that's Kendrick's best album. Every time I listen to a Kendrick album, I'm hoping he can get to the level of Good Kid. That's no insult on To Pimp a Butterfly because I'm not as harsh on it as Jov. You know, I can recognize, because you got to remember that even the untitled songs were from the Good Kid era. I mean, from the To Pimp a Butterfly era. Like, the raps are A1, the beats are A1, the fact that he had political commentary was A1. You know what I mean? So it's like, it just wasn't my speed. You know what I mean? It's like, and not to get in my misogynist Deanie bag, but it's like when Jaw throws Lotto in the group chat. It's like, I can see I'm supposed to like it, but it's like, it's just not my speed. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Yeah, you can. You know what I mean?
That's
so
crazy,
it's like,
bro.
Why do I throw Lotto in the chat?
you know, because
Okay, but carry on.
No, don't do that, because you have a thing for Lotto musically.
Yeah, she's all right.
Yeah, all right.
So it's
I
like,
like to look at Lotto.
I know,
Okay?
but you also you have expressed that you appreciate.
I fuck with Lotto more than some of those other some of the other pussy rappers.
one of the many.
Hey, yo.
But you know, so that's to me, To Pimp a Butterfly is that yes, I understand its greatness. I understand it deserves the Pulitzer. I understand that Kendrick was doing it for us, but
Oh,
it's
damn, got
just,
the Pulitzer.
you know,
Oh, you finally got that right?
You got it wrong. You know what I mean?
one of us gonna get it right. One of us gonna get it wrong.
At some point,
You know what I mean?
Migos don't
But
fail me now.
It never does.
Niggas don't fail
But you
me
know,
now.
so Good Kid is, to me, it's like, it's not even a debate, bro. Like, Good Kid is the epitome of it's like a damn near a top 10 hip hop album ever to me, Good Kid. So it's like, much love to Pimp a Butterfly, but it's like, that's not even a question for me. I'm Good Kid, Mad City all the way.
Go ahead, Dini.
All the way.
Let me just respond real quick, and I'll pass it to Dini real quick. But because Mace brought up some interesting points.
So you just gonna just shoot Mad Bill tonight? That's your role tonight? To shoot Bill for Kendrick, nigga?
No, but Mace brought up some good points, so I just want to reply to them.
Okay.
I was not as invested in the era and the feeling of the era as you were, right, at your age. So, you know, in that time period, I'm looking at the music that comes out differently. Like, I'm not emotionally invested in the scene. So like, I just take each project for what it is, right? I could see how, like, if these are sort of not necessarily you, but if this is somebody's coming of age years, and Good Kid, Mad City comes out, and they're like, holy shit, this is I'm basing my entire personality on this album from here on out. This is dear to my heart. And then he goes so far left with To Pimp a Butterfly, I can see how somebody might feel some type of way. Now, me personally, because I wasn't as invested in that era, I saw Good Kid, Mad City as an amazing piece of work. I was like, yo, Kendrick is dope, and you know, he has this concept and he's telling these stories. Amazing. But also, and because I have, you know, best word I could think of right now is an affinity. Because I have an affinity for socially conscious music and music that speaks on more than just, you know, riding in the car and girls and like all that is cool, and the parties is cool, relationships is cool, but like I like when artists, you know, tackles some broader subjects, right? Some more serious subjects. And so I found in that time that was sorely missing from this space. Okay. So when Kendrick came along and said, you know what, I'm putting out To Pimp a Butterfly, and I'm talking about all of this shit that's coming out now, and when very few people were doing it, especially in the mainstream, now I'm looking at that again from a different, you know, from outside of the space, not necessarily somebody that's invested in what the hip hop scene looks like and feels like in the moment. I'm looking at it from an older person outside, like, oh, this is also an amazing piece of work, right? And I didn't feel that you know, that sharp left turn that a lot of younger people might have felt after Good Kid, Mad City turned into To Pimp a Butterfly.
So that kind of goes back to what I said about Kendrick when he first went viral, for lack of a better word. He took advantage of the fact that there wasn't what the space is now. And when I said it, you kind of didn't agree. I'm just saying.
Wait.
I said that when Kendrick first went crazy,
yeah,
the space wasn't valuing lyricism like that.
True. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he took
like
advantage of the fact
air.
that what he was bringing was something close to what we liked. Now, with so much artists who are lyrical in the space, maybe it's harder for Kendrick to be what he was 5-6 years ago.
No, I don't think so, because I think in terms of the skill set, the skill set is still there.
Yeah, but you said it yourself. He took advantage of the fact that what you was looking for wasn't there.
Nah, see, you're twisting it. I didn't say he.
I'm not.
I didn't say he took advantage of it. I don't think it was like
you said because it wasn't what it was.
Listen, I said he, for whatever reasons he chose to do it. He chose to do it.
All right.
I'm not saying
that's not what you said. You said the space wasn't a particular part of the space wasn't being shined upon. Right. He came in and he shined a light on it.
Right. But I'm not. You're making it sound like Kendrick had this master plan. Like, oh shit.
No,
like,
I'm saying that he took advantage of the fact that the space wasn't as active like that. Niggas wasn't rapping like that. There you go. Thank you, Dini.
They what rapping like that or rapping about what he was
both,
rapping
nigga.
About? Okay. All right.
Go ahead, Dini. I'm sorry.
When we listen to artists, when we tap in, like Nas mentioned it on the KD3 album, like when you first listen to an artist, So my introduction to Kendrick Lamar was the first joint, the Good Kid, Mad City. And I was just so blown away because it gave me little hints of Escobar, It was fresh. It was deep storytelling. It was introspection. It was just new shit. And I thought that was amazing. And then he came out with,
Butterfly.
And I thought it was good music. There's a lot of cuts on that.
Hands down. Let's be clear about that.
I love some songs off that album. You know what I'm saying? But the culture kind of like pushed Good Kid, Mad City more than it pushed To Pimp a Butterfly. You know what I'm saying? Like we pushed Good Kid, Mad City. I feel like they pushed To Pimp a Butterfly.
They, the white people. Go ahead. And I'll say it again.
Good point. You're gonna get our shit demonetized.
Nah, we good. We good.
Sticking with my days. But it's he not like, for instance, like, to just throw this whole shit to the side. Nas might be the only artist whose first album is not my favorite album from them.
Okay,
if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm. You like Reasonable more than Blueprint?
Yes.
Okay, carry on.
The way that. Yeah, that shit. It's a special spot in my heart for Reasonable, and there's a special spot in my heart for It Was Written. And the niggas will fight me to the death about the whole Illmatic, being Nas's greatest album. And I get it. I understand its cultural impact. I understand it's everything it did for hip hop, how many doors it opened. But like I said, man, the Sonics gotta matter. The Warner press play shit gotta matter.
Let's focus on Kendrick though.
The press play shit for me is Good Kid, Mad City more than it is To Pimp a Butterfly. Just sonically, listen, I get what you like, the whole commentary, which is dope, which in the space needed it. Mm-hmm. But if I want to listen to good music, they told me that I have one album from Kendrick and I'm gonna be trapped on a fucking island and I'm gonna got one tape I could bring, bro. I'm bringing Good Kid, bro.
That Good Kid on, man.
You know what? And to close the segment out, selfishly, I want to be clear about that. Good Kid, Mad City took me to LA. I felt like I was in LA and Kendrick was my tour guide. To Pimp a Butterfly was something else entirely. And I didn't want that from him. And maybe I'm being selfish. Maybe it's my sensibilities. You know what I'm saying? I wanted this dude from the West Coast he opened that door and then he closed it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And selfishly, I felt the way about that. That's not what I wanted from you. I wanted you to keep me in LA.
Yeah.
Take me on this tour. Talk about the real shit. And I felt like, not even damn so much, but Mr. Morale took me back to LA, but on a more mature level. And that's why I will always say, I personally, Mr. Morale is the album I felt like To Pimp a Butterfly he had in his mind when he curated it and he found that sweet spot. Because there is no we cry together, as an example,
right,
on To Pimp a Butterfly.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Because he still remembered, you know what, niggas want to hear certain things from me.
Yeah.
Right.
And I owe that to them as an artist, and I'm not going to be selfish. I think he was selfish on To Pimp a Butterfly, Sam.
So you like Mr. Morale now? Is that you're coming around to it?
I've never not liked Mr. Morale. It's just not a classic.
All right. You keep calling it mid.
Because your reaction is beautiful. Sincere upset about Kendrick is good content. What do you mean?
It's beautiful.
What do you mean? You know what I'm saying? I mean, all right, so let's move on. I didn't think this segment was going to go the way it went. That was crazy.
Kendrick does that.
The Rap Roundtable, y'all.
Sir.
It's not just Nas. It's not just Jay-Z. We argue about everything.
Everything.
That's what we do.
So someone posted who posted in the group chat the 20 coolest rappers of all time.
I think it was my guy Nerd at the Cool Table.
Nerd at the Cool.
OG bloggers.
But who threw it in the chat? I want to give niggas. Was it you, Mace?
I threw it up.
All right.
Yeah.
So the 20 coolest rappers of all time, right? Deanie had a very visceral reaction to the 20 coolest rappers of all time. So I'm going to read off the list. Bear with me, y'all. I'm a little drunk. So Nerd at the Cooler Table basically said to us, Slick Rick, Wiz Khalifa. Well, let me start over. At number 20, Slick Rick. Number 19, Wiz Khalifa. Number 18, Fabulous. Number 17, Jadakiss. Number 16, Nicki Minaj. Number 15, Method Man. Number 14, he had Andre 3000, then he crossed it out and put Big Daddy Kane. Number 13, he had Biggie Smalls. Number 12, he had Nas. Number 11, LL Cool J. Number 10, Busta Rhymes. Number 9, Mace. Number 8, Lil Kim. Number 7, Kanye West. Number 6, DMX. Number 5, Tupac. Number 4, Cameron. Number 3, Jay-Z. Number 2, Lil Wayne. And number 1 of all time coolest rappers, Snoop Dogg. Deanie, you felt the way about this list, bro. I'm not going to ask you to break down the list, but I'm going to ask you why you felt the way about this list.
So first off, I just want to say I hate lists like these because they make me very critical of sometimes artists that I love, you know?
Okay.
Yeah. But this list is complete and utter bullshit, bro. like
you on fire.
I love Snoop Dogg, bro. But at what point in life has Snoop's style, talent, influence, creativity, moments, and it factor ever been anything higher than Jay-Z's?
Nah, Snoop in 92, 93, 94 was the coolest nigga alive, bro.
Coolest nigga alive as far as style?
Coolest nigga alive, bro.
Was it fashion style,
He
lyrical
didn't like
style?
them khakis, bro.
I mean, like... I love, and that's exactly why I started this shit off. I love Snoop.
Go ahead, cook, Deanie, cook.
But
I'm sorry.
Influence? Snoop had a heavy rap influence? Niggas rap like Snoop? Who's okay, maybe you can say with a slight hint of Wiz Khalifa,
we
maybe
just talked
Nipsey.
about it. You know what I mean?
But I mean, when style though, like they actually rap like Snoop Dogg, or they more have that little.
Snoop not one of the coolest niggas alive.
I love Snoop, bro, but
Snoop was a cool nigga, man.
The cool is based around
Snoop at 50 is plus is cool now, nigga.
Influence,
Snoop lying,
creativity, moments. I love Snoop.
That makes cool.
Who?
All the things you name it, that falls under cool.
That's their criteria.
That's the list. That's what they're basing this shit on, bro.
Oh, you know what? You're right, because they got it circled right here.
Like,
wow.
Criteria.
Talent better than Biggie?
But see, this is that New York bias. Now I'm gonna call out the New York bias. And Cali, niggas wanted to be Snoop, bro.
I dig it. I can get with that, but I mean, you see what I'm saying? Talent, and I hate to bring up talent from Snoop because Snoop is legendary.
Okay.
But
where does he belong though then?
My nigga, not in the top 10.
Damn.
Not even the top
10. Snoop's still getting endorsements off of being cool, my nigga.
Bro,
he's the front person for fucking, what's it, Corona beer?
When we did the rap roundtable list, bro, we had those 4 fucking things that were set to base everything on, bro. And niggas had to check them boxes.
But you gotta understand, fam. We're from New York. We don't know what Snoop's impact is outside of New York. We know Snoop is a god in LA, bro.
Also, a god, literally. But not off his style.
I can see him not being number 1, but let's not shit on Snoop.
Talent, number 1, Snoop?
Snoop was fire. For the West Coast, what you mean?
I see this list of criteria.
Influence?
I don't know, like cool.
I feel like
is just such
cool
a vague
is bad
term.
word.
I feel like Snoop is not the biggest foul here.
There's a lot, bro.
Here's my thing with this. Are they saying cool in terms of like, yo, like if I'm like a young kid, I want to be like this guy because he's so cool, or cool in the sense of like, because Snoop don't give a fuck about nothing,
right?
So that
cool
in and of itself,
I'm like,
yeah, that nonchalant, that carefree energy, that is Snoop 100%. So if you thinking of like, yo, he's the coolest dude because like he don't give a fuck. He does what he does. He does what he wants to do. He don't give a fuck about what nobody thinks.
That's cool.
That's yeah. That's one definition of cool.
Falls in line, bro.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Mace.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're thinking of like, yo, like that dude is, I'm like 15. I want to be that guy when I grow up.
Snoop
Like,
in 92 was one of the coolest niggas walking this planet, bro.
Yeah, but like cool to like smoke a J with, not cool to like. I didn't want to dress like Snoop. I didn't want to act like Snoop. Like,
I'm not gonna ask you to agree. I respect that, Dean. But you bugging.
I respect that too, Dean. And it's like, you know, this is it's a pretty random list. You know what I mean? Like,
Super
cool
random.
is gonna mean different things to different people. You know, I don't know how long they actually took to put this list up, but I actually think Busta Rhymes being top 10 is the most egregious part to me, bro. Like,
That's not even
Busta Rhymes
well,
has never been cool ever, my nigga. Like, I don't give it. Deanie, don't throw this nigga no
I'm not
bail,
throwing
bro.
bail, but what I'm
You
saying
just
is
said
this.
Snoop wasn't cool.
That's not what I'm saying. Is this like the shit says style, like Busta's style?
Deanie, get the fuck out of here, bro.
I'm not
Get the
saying.
fuck
I'm not
outta
saying.
here.
This is what I'm saying. He was very different in the sense of
he had
his
his
style.
own style.
That don't make it cool, my nigga.
Right.
The fuck? Who's in the street dressing like Busta Rhymes, my
Like
nigga?
Busta Rhymes, but
That's
that's
it.
the point.
Nobody ever
Talent.
thought Busta was cool, bro. That's
Stop,
the thing.
bro.
Like,
Stop.
nobody ever thought that.
How you kill Snoop and shooting bail for
And
Busta,
shooting
bro?
bail for Busta.
As far as talent,
I seen him wear leather
Creativity?
garb to the Grammys,
Cool.
bro. Like, come on.
I'm slapping the table. He's not cooler than Snoop. Stop shooting.
Busta Rhymes is more creative than Snoop.
Mace.
This is true.
Mace.
I mean,
This is true.
One.
Let's hear
That's
from
one
Mace.
thing, bro. Like,
I don't want this segment to go off the rails because Walls is gonna kick us out soon.
So yeah, to me the most egregious thing was the fact that Busta is top 10 because I never heard nobody say Busta was cool. I never thought Busta was cool in
he was
myself.
never in the cool
Like,
conversation.
he never was. He was in a talented conversation, but he never was cool. And the thing is, they don't have like anybody in recent years. Like, there ain't nobody that came out in the 2010s that's cool, bro. Like,
Wayne
You
above
trying to
Hov?
dress like the Migos?
Nah. But the youngest was trying to dress like Chief Keef when he came out in the Trues,
Talk
bro.
about it. Talk
Like when
about it.
Chief Keef
No,
came
don't
out
do
in
that.
Trues,
No, we been cooking trues, bro.
Dipset
Stop
did
it.
Trues before
Hell
Chief
yeah.
Keef.
We
Get
been
the fuck
absolutely.
out of here.
Yeah, we're not giving that to
they
Chief Keef. I'm
influenced,
sorry.
but Chief Keef was
Stop it, bro.
more influential to
Chief
people
Keef
now.
wore Trues because
Stop
of
it, bro.
Dipset.
That's like
Right.
that's like them down south niggas wearing polo. Like, stop it, bro.
Right, but you sometimes you have to got to look at it like sometimes the person
Who
who
brought
influences
it?
the person who
The
influences
fuck are you
everybody
talking
is
about?
not as influential, Dean.
Lil Wayne is number 2, bro, and he just modeled his whole shit after a New York nigga, bro.
I mean, look, hey, for good reason.
For
I
great
don't-
reason. For great reason.
All right.
Mason's a true politician.
I don't even, like. I don't even know really what to make of this list. Like, this shit like just looks like it's all over the place, and it's such a weird category too. Because like I said, like
Coolest.
cool could
Alright.
mean different things to different people. But I'm you know, I'm probably like the biggest fan of Busta Rhymes at this table. But top 10 cool, that's debatable. But my biggest gripe here is that he is one slot ahead of LL Cool J. And LL Cool J, late 80s,
Top
early
five,
90s,
nigga.
was like the
Style,
coolest motherfucker.
style, talent,
like, bro, when he would come out
everything.
with no shirt and his Kangol and his fucking
Big
troop,
chain.
like
The
his troop
archetype of
sweatpants,
the cool rapper is LL, nigga. Let's start
That's
there.
crazy. LL Cool J not in the top 10. This is
Under Busta
I
Rhymes.
like egregious. And then number 14, you put Andre 3000 in there, then you cross him out, put Big Daddy Kane, but then you don't add Andre 3000 anywhere else.
He's
like
cool?
I'm just saying, like, if you thought to put him at 14 ahead of 6 other names, and then you cross him out and you're like, nah, Big Daddy Kane should be in there. Shouldn't Andre 3000 at least then be 15 or 16 or 17? It just feels like they just threw some names in, didn't really give it much thought.
Together, yeah.
They just tossed it together. Big Daddy Kane was definitely a cool motherfucker.
Really cool.
All right, so my gripe with this list, and if y'all know me, y'all know where I'm going already. The fact that Fabulous is 18th on this list, and there's a lot of names above Fabulous.
Makes no sense,
The
bro.
first name being Jadakiss. Jadakiss might be a better rapper than Fabulous, but he's not cooler than
Niggas
Fabulous.
was trying to dress like Jada, bro. Like, what is
No,
this?
And the and the, I mean, you got to think, what was the niggas was wearing jerseys and Timbs, bro? Like, that was essentially the footprint for the whole.
I'm gonna let you finish, Deanie, but Fabulous was the archetype for the New
For the
York
fly nigga.
aesthetic
Yeah.
for a cool 10 years. So why the fuck are you shooting bail for Jadakiss right now?
No, what I'm
What are
saying
you doing
what
right
I'm
there?
saying
Yeah,
is
Fab too much
Jada
credit.
wears
Fuck
them
outta here.
niggas did dress like
With
Jada, bro.
shorts,
Like,
Again,
still.
let me repeat myself.
the little fucking bandana, the little paper
Fabulous.
towel bandana.
You rock that?
Fabulous.
I did.
I never seen one nigga in the street rocking the paper towel bandana.
I did. Uptown
Fabulous was the archetype for every
nigga.
New York nigga, every East Coast nigga.
I can attest to that.
What
bro.
the fuck are you talking about, Dini?
shit. But maybe style is not fashion style. So I'm thinking maybe style's rap style.
If Fabulous was cool personified
He was.
to be, so what are you fucking talking about?
What I'm saying is Jada had his moment, bro. I'm not saying he's as cool as Fab.
What are you arguing right now, Dini?
What I'm
The
argu-
list is the 20 coolest niggas alive.
What I'm arguing is that for a little while, it was a small run. Niggas was trying to be on Jada time.
Is Jadakiss supposed to be
more than
above
Fab.
Fabulous?
Well, no, because I mean he's like no.
I don't remember this.
Yo, if y'all,
But that's the whole.
if there was
that's
a
the whole
gift,
thing.
it would
He's
be
mad that Jada is ahead
Homer
of Fab.
choking Bart right now. What the fuck are you
Right
talking
now,
about,
yes.
Dini?
Right now, yes.
Fabulous has from day one. Fabulous Sport was cooler than Jadakiss. Fabulous was the personification of cool. You telling me that Little Kim is cooler than Loso?
Little Kim, bro.
Not
Fab
cooler.
is the whole reason Mitchell and Ness went on the run
That's
they
true.
did.
Come on.
DMX?
Everybody had
That's
a fucking
cooler,
throwback
not
jersey.
greater.
And he was
DMX
rocking
was
paper towel
cooler
bandana, too.
than
Fab.
Fabulous.
Yeah, yeah.
Fabulous being 18th, it's the most egregious. Fabulous is top 10 cool rapper on any list.
Any list, bro.
He talked to the chicks. He got fly. His waves are spinning. What are we talking about?
Is Fab creative though? Like as far as like creative
He talked to the chicks.
moments?
Talked to the chicks.
That
Soul
traded
Tape,
all.
he had the it
that
factor, I
traded
give him
all.
that.
Part 2 was a
Freestyle.
moment, bro.
He talked to the chicks.
I mean, for Diddy
Had
too,
bars.
yeah.
Had freestyles. Got jiggy. What Fab is top 10 cool nigga.
And then, but also, I'm looking at this criteria. I'm like,
It's confusing.
half of it doesn't even have anything to do with being cool.
That's
There
what
you
I'm
go.
saying. Like
There you go.
It's style, fashion style, lyrical.
I was waiting for
style,
one of y'all to say it. Let me get the thing. There you go.
influence.
Who made Mace? Who made this list again?
Nerd,
Nerd at the cool table.
Nerd at the cool table.
Nerd-
You gotta explain yourself, man.
That's the
That's
late
why the website
2000s
kinda-
blog era right there.
Y'all want to move on?
What's Fab's moments though?
Nah, really, but before you move
Breathe.
on, like you just randomly mentioned him sideways. Where's Diddy, bro?
Coolest
It was-
nigga alive.
But he wasn't really considered a rapper though.
They put Kanye up here.
Kanye's considered a rapper though. Even if you don't write all this shit.
Kanye and Diddy are the same nigga when it comes to rap.
Come on.
Don't do that.
When it comes to not writing your rhymes,
When we look at
Okay.
albums though,
curating projects,
All right,
albums, though.
Okay, fine, but
they don't got a
Kanye
Dark Twisted
definitely
Fantasy up
performed
his
better
belt.
than-
You know what I'm saying?
all right, fine.
then did
Is he
You're
cooler?
But then it goes back to the criteria.
Whoa.
What the fuck is this criteria?
So-
Yeah.
so- so
Yeah, they got us
competition.
arguing and
This
make
shit is-
criteria is bullshit.
Maybe that's the whole point.
Nerd
of
at the
this.
cool table breaking up the rap round
Maybe
table.
maybe the point is to have these crazy arguments.
I think this list was made for clicks.
Yeah,
All right.
good job.
So we're gonna go to Mace here. Her loss drops.
Yes, sir.
You know, I was in another group chat where I was talking about how this album was made to be controversial. It was made to create conversation, create think pieces, divide Twitter, right? And part of that divide was saying things that women would have an issue with. Aubrey, he talked to Megan Thee Stallion. He allegedly was talking to Ice Spice, to name a few.
Yes, sir.
So, has Drake taken the misogynist title from Dini?
Misogynist Aubrey coming for your
Oh,
title,
man.
man. So
you can have it, brother.
it's an interesting thing because I think we've all kind of known that Drake's fan base is like 80% women. You know that black women in particular have really boosted Drake to you know to help him get to the level that he is. So I found it very interesting that he decided to take the heel turn for my wrestling fans. You know what I mean? I saw a lot of women upset, and I think he almost, and I don't want to bring up the baby, you know, but in the same way that the baby kind of was like underestimated the pushback he's gonna get, this online Megan Thee Stallion fan base is something different, bro. They
the
second Drake, the memes that they put up, the disrespect that they put up, they was talking about your son, Aubrey. They went full Pusha T on you. So the fact that, I don't know, like, I don't think he kind of knew that this pushback was coming. Yes, I think, you know, the controversy of it all, you know, was a thing, but I don't think he thought that the pushback was going to be this severe. Now, when it comes to album sales, clearly it didn't really, you know, do anything there. But, you know, the cultural view of him, you know, they started bringing up how you really a white man. Like, they was going in on this guy, bro. So
they were sounding like us.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They were calling him playing for the other team and all of that.
They were saying he was they were talking crazy about him.
So, all that.
Yeah. So yeah. I don't think he knew this was coming. You know, he's always been kind of, you know, the darling of that, you know, demographic.
That's
so,
a fact.
Yeah, even you can make the wrong people upset, Drake.
Real quick, have y'all seen the animated clips, the little cartoon joints of Emmett Savage? And 21 Savage, where he's like, you know, 21, can you do something for me?
Oh, man.
I got to share those with y'all.
I had to stop because it's like one of my favorite songs in the album. So, you know, like, I couldn't even go for it.
Man.
Nasty work.
It's bad for right now.
Deanie, go ahead, bro.
Ladies, I implore you. It's just, wow. I mean, y'all going turn y'all back on Drake now?
That's crazy, bro.
Now, the one who gave you all your fucking subs, the one who gave you all your content for
your
IG
captions,
your captions.
Come on, man.
Like, I just don't see why this album is the album that is turning y'all off from Drake. Has he veered like extremely far from his usual content? Like, is he doing something completely different than he used to? Hasn't it always been I fall in love on Monday and I'm not with her on Tuesday, Drake? Hasn't it always been I go into the strip club and I'm gonna buy every stripper in there, Celine bag, Drake? Like, where's I don't understand where all this is coming from, bro. Like, is this all really from a Megan bar? Really?
And it's crazy because he done talk spicy about Rihanna at certain points, about Nicki at certain points. Like, he done got at, you know, whatever women's favorite artists were. You know, it's interesting.
Plenty of women. So it's I just find it all hilarious that it all happens now from this said album. Like, Drake's been on this type of time for the longest, bro. Like, what is it about today? What is it now that's making all these women do this? That's the thing I'm lost about.
Because they feel like he's making light of her being shot by someone.
We don't know if she's really been shot. No one knows.
He says Tory shot her. The bar was basically intimating that he lied. She lied about it. I don't care what anyone says. He knew what he was doing with that bar.
He did.
Sin broke it down the last time we shit on him for it. We love you, Sin. But I think you were slightly right because he even ends the bar with she didn't even get the joke.
But the point of the matter is he knew how the public will perceive
putting those words together in the same bar.
It's it.
Of course, but you see what it did. It got all the eyes, it got all the ears. It only did better for the album.
In this climate, the pro-feminism climate,
yeah,
even intimating or jokingly saying that she lied about being shot by another man is problematic.
It is, but this is rap, is it not?
Is
Listen,
it?
She can't spit some bars back?
No.
Lipo Drake?
No.
She can't get Party?
Marty. Shit. I'm thinking
my dog?
I'll put Megan Thee Stallion and Party together. They both know they can't rap with Drake.
Shoot a bar.
They're gonna lose, bro. I don't care what y'all say about Drake. A lot of niggas are not out rapping Drake. Go ahead.
I don't think if she were to shoot some bars in Drake's direction, I don't think it would be in the sense of like, let's have like a real actual lyrical battle,
right?
A lyrical beef or whatever.
Yeah.
This would be like, it would be a personal jab.
Yeah.
Like the way he
jabbed her.
The way she felt like he threw a personal jab, just throw one back. Like nobody.
It'd be
I might anger some people, but nobody thought like Tupac was out rapping Biggie, but he still came out with Hit 'Em Up, and he threw hella jabs and uppercuts and left hooks. So you know what I mean?
Megan
like,
is not dropping a hit.
No, I'm just saying that like there's more to throwing out jabs and making diss records than than actually trying to get into a lyrical sparring match. Sometimes you just gotta touch them because you gotta let them know, like, yo, you're not gonna just say whatever you want about me and think that we're not gonna say something back. Sometimes you just gotta say something back, whether it's gonna be nice or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it goes
nice
subtle.
in the lyrical sense.
Like even when I won't call Meg, Pac, and Drake big, but like when Kim on Hardcore said, "Who shot you?" I don't know, but they got you. You know what I mean? There's something slight because Pac mentioned there's something light, to let him know what was going on.
But Meg ain't a Brooklyn girl.
Hey,
I ain't getting
Meg don't got big. Meg don't got big right in them bars. No disrespect, party, but you ain't big. You know what I mean?
But
upstate nigga.
Yeah, I kind of want to. Oh, this is scary. I'm gonna agree with Deanie.
Okay.
Come on home, brother.
I'm gonna kind of agree with Deanie because like I'm feeling like the shit that we've been saying the whole time, that all of us about Drake, that Drake panders to women.
Thank you.
And this whole time, whenever we get into a conversation with a Drake fan, probably a female Drake fan, and we're like, yo, but Drake, like his material, he doesn't like rap for a full album. He drops these like little sing-songy joints. They're like, oh, y'all just mad because like he's in touch with his feelings, and because like he makes songs for us and he gets us and he knows exactly what we're feeling. No, the fuck he doesn't. He's pandering. He's been pandering the entire fucking time. He's the motherfucker that will try to get you to think that he's in touch with his feelings and that he's in touch with your feelings, and that he understands what you're thinking and what your emotions are because he wants to get you into bed. And then the next day, he's gonna not call you. He's gonna ghost you and go to the strip club and buy them Chanel bags.
And tell you it's your love.
Buy the stripper Chanel bags, and you're left
women?
with yes.
And they fall for it.
Sin is going full black pill right now, bro.
I've been saying this the whole time, and now y'all want to see the light?
You didn't.
Now
there was a tweet that said, "I can't wait till the new Drake album drops so I can get my new list of captions." You see what I'm saying? They adore this nigga, bro. So it's just whole bugged out to me.
Bro, I'm tired of it.
Yo,
right? That whole video, that whole nice for what video, a huge pander fest. The entire thing. The whole thing, women were like, "Oh my god!"
Sin been waiting to get these bars off.
He gets us, and he's repping for the girls.
I didn't expect this tonight at all.
Fucking,
he's in tune with his emotions.
Ross was in that shit, like, and I'm looking at it like, y'all can't be serious. Y'all must see through this, right?
No,
this motherfucker is so see through. We've been seeing through the whole shit the whole time, and y'all just catching up now.
Okay.
We try to tell you. We told you so.
You know what it is, Sin? That it's like when a girl deals with a dude and the dad's not around. My fault, y'all. And the dad's not around. You can kind of just go in there and just kind of like wingle.
Whoa, Jaw. Go ahead, Jaw. Go ahead, Jaw.
No.
Keep it.
No. Next segment.
Go ahead, Jaw.
Next segment.
Yo, what the fuck is your problem,
No,
bro?
I wasn't about to violate. I was gonna say like,
no, don't say it. Don't say it. Do not say it.
It's nothing negative.
Don't say it. You already fucked us.
How?
The beginning of it. What do you mean?
Nah, it's
not around.
no,
Deanie.
Listen,
No.
let me
We're moving on.
This.
We're moving on.
Save this.
No, we're not
camera,
saying
bro.
it. You can tell us off wax.
It's not nothing negative.
I'm good. Moving on. Moving on.
You got
There's
it.
nothing negative.
The young rap segment.
I'm
Yo,
dead,
we get
man.
canceled because of this motherfucker.
I'm not. It's nothing
right,
negative.
Bro,
Yo,
that whole
bro.
setup was shaky.
No,
It was
shaky,
shaky,
bro.
Shaky,
bro.
Deanie, no.
Men see through the bullshit is what I'm saying.
No.
Men see through the bullshit.
Take that
That's
shit
all I'm
to
saying.
the Alpha Male podcast. This is the Rap Roundtable.
Proceed.
Mace. The young rap
Diddy,
segment.
I love you, boy.
Please,
proceed, my
young
brother.
rap segment. Man, it's been a packed episode, so I'm gonna run through the young rap segment because honestly, it's been all about Nas this week. You know what I mean? To be honest, so but I'll run through it for y'all. First off, I don't know if I formally said rest in peace to Takeoff. You know, 1/3 of the Migos. Today, I believe, was his funeral, or his memorial, however you want to call it. Man, huge loss for hip hop, bro. Like, I have this thing that I'm trying to come up with. I've been writing it. I've been kind of like, I write in my off time, y'all. I don't know if y'all know, but I'm trying to come up with this theory of, 2010s rap as 90s rap. You know what I mean? Where Atlanta is what New York was, and in that case, the Migos, my man, like up there with as influential. Like, people have said it. They changed the cadence of rap, the way people flow. The sonic landscape. They did a lot for however you feel, positively or negatively, but the impact for the Migos and Takeoff being, admittedly from the other Migos, the best rapper in the group. That's just a huge loss, man. Low key dude, people my age bracket, that's your college years, that's your coming of age years. Man, that's a big loss for hip hop. We've had many, but Takeoff, especially in the manner that it happened, and I won't go into too many details, but you can clearly see that it was not meant for him. He was not in the middle of anything. So rest in peace to Takeoff, man. One up for my guy, man, and condolences to his family, Offset and Quavo. I don't usually go this long for the memorials, but that shit kind of fucked me up. I know it's same way for Jaw. We kind of spoke about it even away from the crew. It kind of fucked us up, So rest in peace to Take, man. For new joints this week, just like I said, it was a Nas week for us. But Jaw's favorite, Glorilla, dropped a debut. This week.
Hey, girl.
Anyways, Life's Great. I haven't been able to tap in because, just like I said, it's been a Nas week. It's been a her loss last week. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna have to check out Glorilla because everything she done dropped has been entertaining at the very least. Another one of my favorites, Sleazy World Gold dropped this week. Where the Shooters Be, had a big joint with Lil Baby over the summer, so I'm gonna tap into that. But it's hard to get from Nas to Sleazy World Gold, y'all. So give me some time. Real quick, this week there was a little bit of controversy. 21 Savage came out and said that of the 2016 fresh XXL freshman list, which is probably one of their more famed lists, probably top 3. He said he'd beat, for better or worse, however you feel about it. He said he'd beat his entire class in a potential versus.
Wow.
That class includes Kodak Black,
that's crazy.
Lil Uzi, Lil Yachty, Warehouse favorite Dave East. I don't know if I necessarily agreed with it. I am personally a Kodak guy, but 21 has every right to feel that way, especially coming off a number 1 album with Drake. You know what I mean? So, eventually, let me know if y'all want me to start talking about, XXL freshman list rankings. I think I'm gonna have to tap into that. Maybe when the next list comes out.
21's list broke the culture.
Yeah.
It just so happened that a couple of them actually got a little better at rapping and saved it.
Including him.
Let's not act like y'all freshman class didn't almost fuck up the whole rap game. Go ahead.
I remember the freestyles from that year. Like, that was a thing. When niggas heard Uzi freestyling, that shit kind of was different.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Wasn't that the freestyle where they was trying to beef with the nigga about the beat? They said the beat wasn't good?
That was it. When Uzi was going on Hot 97 saying he don't want to rap over the old beats. That was quite an error. But 21, shouts to him, feeling that way. I'm in the Kodak camp. I feel like Kodak got more solo joints that he could rock. All of 21's biggest joints to me are a feature, but I'm not gonna argue with the guy. And I'm gonna have to end it off with the baby, man. This week it came out.
He's been doing okay, Mace.
He's been doing okay until, shouts. I seen him on Maad Hoffa's pod. I've been checking the clips on that. Shout to Maad. But my man is selling his tickets buy one get one free right now. $40 tickets.
Hard out there, man.
And yeah, I seen your Instagram posts about falling off, and I see you making freestyles about apologizing to your baby mamas. You know what I'm saying? But the baby, like you're beyond on the clock. You're selling buy one get one free tickets, bro, like a Payless shoe. The baby, like grand opening, grand closing. Like we keep saying it. Like Ja Rule's run was longer than yours. Ja was about 99 to 03 when 50 dropped. The baby was hot for 2 years, and one of them was a pandemic year where we didn't even get to go outside. This shit is alarming to me. So, short young rap segment this week, but I had to get at the baby to cap that off.
You're not wrong, bro. I think we spoke about it on the pod previously, where he had to go on the apology tour.
He did.
He had to go on and make good tours, talking about your BMs, going on these podcasts, freestyling on Flex. He's trying to, erase that. He got canceled.
He's trying.
But the buy one get one is nasty work.
I've never seen that.
It's crazy because I checked Ticketmaster, and Ticketmaster's regular sales. There must be like a specific website that's doing that though.
Oh man.
Either way, the fact that it's on the board is nasty.
It's bad, man.
So we gotta get to my favorite segment, the mailbag. Hey. So we promised y'all when we did the Rap Roundtable top 10 rappers that we would revisit this top 10 rappers via the mailbag eventually. Today is that day. So a lot of y'all, and fair is fair. Y'all confused nicest rapper with top rappers of 2022. If it was a straight lyrical miracle list, that 10 looks completely different. And again, we have the top 10 lyricists list coming soon. 2022, wait on that. It's coming very, very soon. But some of the pushback, I felt like when we put this 10 together, Sincere's reaction to some of the 10 was the reaction that we knew we'd get from the public. So, I'm going straight to Instagram. I'm not even going to YouTube. I'm going to Instagram because some of the comments were a little slanderous. You know what I mean?
A little spicy.
We got a Rastafarian again here who was telling us about the culture, whatever. But we're going to start with Tommy.LL or I don't know. He says, this reeks of boom bap bias and then has nods to trap rappers, so it won't look like it. So he's trying to say we're fronting on our list and we're trying to pander to certain regions. I'd like to say, I'm not going to talk too much. Tommy, get the fuck out of here. We love rap. We love all parts of rap. Sin might not so much, but the rest of us love all parts of rap. But Deanie,
we each like our segment.
Exactly.
There's certain segments that I like that they don't like. So
when Tommy tells us that we're trying to reach the trap rappers to make our list look valid, what do you say?
I say you're not looking at the list. You need to wipe your glasses.
Oh.
We got Kendrick Lamar, Freddie Gibbs, Pusha T, J.I.D., Kodak, Lil Baby, Benny, Lil Durk, J. Cole, Escobar. Like, that's boom bap? That's the boom bap list
exactly.
he's
How much
referring
boom bap is in there?
Like, my guy. Like, like, you're not looking at the list, my brother. There's a lot of different sounds between these 10 artists. Do better next time. Not really much to say to that.
Mace, I'm coming to you. Dom Fader says, no Drake is hilarious. I see Sin responded to that guy, but I'd like to hear from Mace.
Listen, if we dropped the list a month later, I'd have been fighting for top 5 for Drake off of Her Loss. But the man dropped a house album that even us fans didn't even stream, bro, to the point that Sin and Jaw were predicting under 300K for the album, just to how bad Honestly Nevermind did, bro. That's how bad of a taste that shit left in everybody, bro. Like, listen, he did not, that's why I didn't say mouth. But it's like, listen, bro, like, you speaking to the Drake guy, OVO Mace, the capo of the crew, bro. I had to move 40 up out of there, you know what I mean? He had too many sick days. So it's like, I'm sorry. Listen, man, Drake didn't deserve to be on the list.
Bro. I'm dead.
And coming from me, y'all should know that's a fact. Come on now.
His status was the Kenny G of house music at the time. So.
I'm gonna go to Sincere for this one.
Too many sick days still got bro.
Niggas, come on.
Get into my Deanie bag.
Atura Rastafarian says, I love what hip hop, not rap, in parentheses, is today. Our originators are still making sensible, positive, and good quality music. The issue that all the rappers, in quotation marks, speaking of death and destruction of our own people is making all the funds from people who don't even look like us less melanin. So basically he's saying that the new rappers are for the system. The old rappers were for the rebellion. What do you say to that, Sin?
Yeah, no, I think we over romanticize a lot of the stuff and the artists from our era. Not to say that it was great music. It was an amazing feeling, an amazing energy at the time. But not everybody was for the cause, bro. Like right. you can't make it like, come on, like Mobb Deep was for the cause, like you know what I mean? Dr. Dre and Snoop was for the cause, like
Puff and Biggie, like
everybody wasn't for the cause, and I guess maybe there's a point to be made for like being counterculture, and now with hip hop being the dominant culture, everybody's just sort of going along with you know the trends and everything. But yeah, no, I think including myself, I'm guilty of this too. Sometimes we just over romanticize what we remember at the time because we were so young and we felt that energy and it was so palpable. And we were like, yeah, like we're gonna fucking take over the world, turn it on its side, and like, you know what I mean, like fuck the system, and you know what I mean. We was feeling that, but not everybody was for that. Like Biggie, one of my favorite rappers of all time, one of my favorite MCs, Pop probably second to Nas. He said many a times in interview, yo, I'm just trying to sell some records, bro. Like, it's not. I'm not out here to be like a political figure. I'm not out here to, you know, do too much social commentary. I just want to sell some records.
Fair enough. And the last one from this top 10 list that really upset the older wing of the culture. 1000G _ Ready Rock says, wow, no Hove. So basically he's saying,
wow, bro, that's crazy, bro.
I'll take that one.
Yeah, no.
It's no Hove because Hove, with the exception of a couple of features, if you're telling me 2 features in a year is worthy of top 10 for the year, then you're part of the problem. And you know what? They tried to put the Rap Roundtable in that problem wing where we're biased Jay-Z fans. No, we're biased for the culture, right? And with that bias, that means that if you only drop 2 verses for the year, we can't put you in the top 10. Especially if neither of those verses are verse of the year. The reason why J. Cole got in that top 10 is because one of his 2 keynote verses on features were verse of the year.
Yeah.
And we knew coming off of what he did the last 2 years that he deserved to be in every best rapper conversation. Jay-Z, you know, and I love Hove. Hove is my guy. But Hove decides when he wants to descend from the clouds to give us verses and then go away for a while. Then have Khaled post a pic with Grammys and then go away for a while. God did, and Neck and Wrist is not deserving of being on any top 10 list in 2022. If he decides between now and the end of the year to give us an album, maybe we revisit the list. But as of right now, my man, Hove doesn't belong on any top 10 rapper list right now.
He's chilling.
He doesn't have a 4P. Shout out to Nas. He doesn't have what Griselda's doing. He doesn't have a return to form like Kendrick had as far as a 5-year hiatus. He doesn't have an album like Gibbs has. He doesn't have an album like JID has. He doesn't have the presence of a Kodak or a G Herbo or my man from Chicago. What's the other one?
Dirk.
Mm-hmm. He doesn't have any of these things. So with that being said, and I love Jay-Z, but it's like, if Jay decides to show when he feels like showing up, why shouldn't he be on any top 10? No disrespect to any Jay-Z fan. I'm the number 1 Jay-Z fan here, but I gotta be fair. When he drops an album and it's really good, he'll be on that top 10 list. But with that said, you know, we gotta get out of here. We've run long.
Sir.
Shout out to Walter for tolerating us. I think we entertained Walter tonight. We made it worth this time.
Appreciate you, Walter.
Shout out to Walt.
We're uptown. I'm next to Sin. You know, we fought about Kendrick, but that's my nigga nevertheless. I got my little Migos here. He got his Migos in his cup. We on this block. The bachata is playing.
Wepa.
The beautiful women are walking by. but there's a couple of people who are pissing Sincere off, and they need to get off his lawn.
Yeah, man. You know who's pissing me off this time? People with overly inflated egos. They gotta get off my lawn, bro. Because ain't enough room for me, you, and your inflated ego at the same time. This goes out to a couple people in particular, but like again, could just be like a broad blanket statement. If the shoe fits, wear it. But I noticed. So look, we had the whole KD3 reaction. We talked about it again also on this episode. It's been heavy Nas, heavy KD3 all week.
Escobar season.
And like we couldn't be happier. And I feel like if you're a Nas fan, it should be nothing but good vibes and good energy. And before the album drops, like sort of anticipating it, what is it going to sound like? When the album drops, because it was a phenomenal album, you should just be like happy with what came out of it. But I noticed some people just they can't help but like insert themselves and their own ego into the energy that's going on around them. And like I don't have the time or the patience for that shit. There's not enough room on my lawn for that. There's a person in particular, I won't say his name, but he went on a bit of a crusade on Twitter, ranting and attacking all of these different platforms and just going on these rants about how the media is not treating Nas fairly again, and saying that like, yo, just mentioning platforms on Twitter and say, hey, this platform, you're not putting out enough Nas news. You're not covering this Nas rollout enough. Hey, this platform, how come you didn't post the album's track list? And plot twist is that they did, and the person just didn't notice it. But that's neither here nor there, honestly, because again, it's like, if you're such a big fan of this artist, this should be a positive time. This should be a time for you to just like talk about the music, talk about the album, what it means, talk about the run, and just, keep that positive energy. But for you to sort of just kind of stick your whole, your ego in there, and just sort of think that you have to call all of these platforms to task because that's your job to do somehow. That's not what we're here for. That's not what none of us are here for.
It doesn't serve anyone, bro.
No, nobody. It's so self-serving. You're not. Whatever you think you're doing, it's not working. And it's a moot point anyway, because those platforms were covering what you said they weren't covering, and you just weren't on top of it. You just didn't notice it.
Your algorithm didn't show you that.
You weren't tapped in.
Now, then there was this other exchange, and I got it here. I'm gonna go through it quick. Shouts to Didi on Twitter. I follow her. She, a lot of good quality hip hop tweets. Anyway, she tweeted about Nas KD3, and she says that this was after the album came out. She said, appreciate what Nas is doing right now. I don't know when we'll see a pioneer in hip hop do a run like this again. Right now, again, this is a positive tweet. There's nothing but positive vibes on this. This guy, and again, I don't want to shout no names out, but this guy comes and replies and says, Nas isn't a pioneer, but the run that him and Hit Boy are on is unprecedented at this point in any rapper's career. So he made this point to argue against her, saying that Nas isn't a pioneer. Now, whether you think Nas is a pioneer is, that's a whole other discussion. We're so far removed from the 30 years ago when Nas came out to a lot of, younger people today. Nas is very much a pioneer, right? He's not a Melly Mel, you know what I mean? He's not a Sugar Hill Gang, he's not a Grandmaster Caz, but I mean, Nas is an OG. You know what I mean? Maybe she meant OG and she just said pioneer. Not a huge transgression, but this guy wants to like inject his whole ego and wants to be so right about this to correct somebody. So and somebody replies to him.
Well, actually.
Right. And then he's like, Nas wasn't the first to go into the territory. He did. Labels refused to sign him and yada, yada, yada. And then it just turns out, I'm looking at his tweets and I'm like, are you even a Nas fan? Like, are you happy about, because you're saying that he's going on an unprecedented run, but now it seems like you're kind of just shitting on Nas. Hey. So it's like, at this point in time, when we're celebrating an artist, just keep it on that level. Mm-hmm. Keep the vibes positive. You know what I mean? All this other negative shit, all this egotistic shit, all this like I'm right and you're wrong.
Or the lack of awareness to realize that after 30 years, Nas is a pioneer, bro.
Possibly. You know what I mean? Some people might see that, but that again, that conversation is honestly neither here nor there, because like the original tweet was just such a positive tweet, and somebody had to go in and stick their whole ego into it and turn into something negative. The whole thread just devolved into a back and forth argument between a whole lot of people, and the original sentiment of the tweet was completely lost. It's just it's so unfortunate. Like, people with overinflated egos, where you have to stick yourself in some type of conversation to make yourself feel more important and more correct and more right and more knowledgeable than somebody else. Go ahead with that shit.
And?
Get off my lawn.
Get off my lawn. Fuck out of here.
Get the fuck off Sincere's lawn. If you don't realize that 1992 was a long time ago.
Get off my lawn.
if you don't realize that after 30 years, Nas has earned the right to be a pioneer.
Get off my lawn.
If you don't realize that we're all old as fuck.
Get off my lawn.
And that Nas is, if not that other guy that we won't name, is the 5-star general of the space.
Get off my lawn.
Take your ego and please.
Get off my lawn.
Deanie, take us home.
Yo, y'all know what time it is, man. It's that time. Shout out to Walter. Yo, we appreciate you for rocking with us, good brother. Another classic in the books.
Walter's a hip-hop fan. I don't know if you realize. I was peeping the reaction. He tapped in. He's ahead. He was
tapped in. That's a fact.
You did? Hey. That's what's up. Shout out to all the people that's been rocking with us, man. We see the cash apps. We see the love. We really appreciate y'all. Shout out to y'all.
Super chats. We love y'all.
Big facts.
Y'all help us do shit like this.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean?
Real talk.
Appreciate all the love from the whole team. Shout out to my guy, Macito, voice of the young people. You want to hear that news? You want to hear that young shit about what's going on in the culture? Tap into that, man.
Appreciate you,
Sincere, we listening to you right now, good brother. You hear that beat in the background, yo. It's what this man does, man. This shit is therapeutic. The technician, Javi. Then let me finish my statement. But flawless execution.
Because I want you to keep talking in the future.
My nigga, I'm here for it. We appreciate everything you do, good brother.
My guy.
Keep the computer sputing.
Thanks.
I'm Deanie, the balance of the force. And with our powers combined, we are the Rap Roundtable. And this is episode 59. Tap the fuck in. We out!
Another classic Posse cut from the heroes you need.
The heroes you need. The most...
Listen, most influential.
We
really do this shit.
Stop biting our balls out there.
We see it.
Tag us next time. You heard?
See it.
Give us our album credit.
Peter Rosenberg owes Mace a couple $.
Shit,
man.
Send that money, nigga.
Listen, man.
Run those Nas streams up too. Don't worry about publications. You heard?
Shout out to Nas and Hit Boy, man. KD3 is a fucking monster.
Salud, Sam. Fuck with you, my boy.